afternoon that we see the market go from very, very green to kick things off today, back to the downside into negative territory, and then some now as tech continues to slide. After leading to start things off in the morning, we were talking about how Microsoft, Apple, Amazon were all showing relative strength in the pre-market. Here's how things are setting up right now with 2 hours left in the day. 0.42 for the S&P, the Dow 0.35, exactly the same for the NASDAQ currently. But yeah, red top to bottom right now for this board, including crude oil, still 0.82% now for Bitcoin, almost 1.85 for Ethereum. It's been one of those days, just a steady grind. Nothing as far as volatile moves to tell you about, but just a steady grind back to the downside. We go. Healthcare stocks jumping off the page here, front and center, notably weak. A couple of earnings names, SDE and BAX, both reported, missed 11 and 9% for each. So the equipment makers in the healthcare group faring a little bit worse than the pharma names. It's tough to see, but that's AbbVie. They reported, beat expectations. Biogen up on that. Biogen coming through next week, I saw during lunch hour there with their earnings report. But healthcare stocks still weak. Here's some positivity to brighten your afternoon, hopefully. Hopefully somebody bought these casinos this morning because they've been really strong today. MGM 7%, Wynn 5.3%. All of them are here, though. LVS, Hilton even catching a bit off of that. Caesars there, even 2% to the upside. So consumer discretionary stocks in pretty good shape. VFC, a notable decliner off earnings. That's Tesla. We'll talk about that in depth coming up here. 4.7% for Tesla. MPWR 10% to the upside. Enphase and SEDG downside off. Earnings earlier in the week for one of those was better than expected, but big move down here, giving some back. But it's been one of those days. IFF notably weak here as well, 20% off earnings. It's been one of those days where we saw early strength right across the board kind of fade and everything move back southbound. Into the red we go. Hope your afternoon is going well. Let's get right into a little bit of a review session, shall we, of what we were discussing in the pre-market. As always, we'll touch on some of the ideas that we threw out there, some trade setups, how they worked out, what we can do better. The next time around is the point. Neil's going to lead the way this afternoon with a look at one of his trades.
Underlay, mommy, AI, uh-oh. Google's down again. Trade of the day is brought to you by the AI craze and day trade the world. It was an easy short yesterday on Alphabet. They had the presentation. It didn't go so well. If you were not paying attention, Bard didn't exactly perform. So it didn't have the best day in the world. Now you can see what happened up here. You had a double top at 108 and absolute failure and abject failure. And a wise birdie once told me, if you draw lines of support and resistance on a chart of something that you trade a lot, maybe keep them around there. So I usually use a 15-minute to find key price levels. And I had some old lines from a week and a half ago. 100's obvious. 98's kind of obvious too, but literally it was 100, 98, 96, 94. I like the symmetry there, but I had them set up and was using them just recently. So when I saw at the end of the day that we're holding 100 yesterday as resistance with 98 as support, I'm like, I know exactly where I want to trade Alphabet tomorrow. And that's what we did. So in the pre-market, there was a nice little glide up to that 100 level, do the whole over-under thing. It's trying to make the move. The problem with the pre-market, and this is always going to be the case here, the market hasn't opened yet. And a lot of times you don't want to take a full position until the market opens. So it's making that test. But if it does this, where you get in that first third or half, however many you're comfortable getting before that opening move, yeah, it just rolls over, right? Actually, right before 9:30. It was already starting to go in the money pretty much right away. Wasn't ever able to get a full position, but at least we're able to follow our plan. Like I'm scalping out in the first dollar, knowing full well 98 is where I want to get out. So it bounces to 98, and I'm accustomed in this market that you get whipsaw action back and forth, typically speaking, in that opening few minutes. Now that didn't happen here. Bit of a disappointment because it blew through the 98 level without any kind of a bounce. I just shorted any pop, short into 100, that's going to be the level. But once you've broken 98, hey, we got another channel here. We still have the 98 to 96 channel, so we can work into another short trade. Just about understanding that the trend is pretty strong to the downside, second day in a row. Bottoms out 96. You're shorting the first curl in front of 98 that you can. It doesn't even get back to 98, but it's bounced off the level you like. Take some out halfway. Wait for it to challenge the 96 level, because if it blows through, I think we're headed to 94. It does not break through. Stops me out here, and I'm thinking at that point, another level, we'll get back in 96 to 94. This is the only time we're kind of went off the rails, because I got out, did not get the reload. Okay, we had a few other things we were trading at that time, but that's not an excuse, Nvidia being one of them. But then you had that break of 96, did not get back in at that key level. However, we did play the 94 break. 94 break does not go anywhere, double bottom, but then it's all right, that's the level we had, last level we had for support. And the key thing about, I got out and reversed to the long and was just scalp long, add to the position, scalp out, add to the position, scalp out, and going with the trend, was as Alphabet was making this low. This is the key. The market was actually pressing new lows and looking very weak, but it was not breaking. This whole time it's sitting here, I'm watching the market make new lows. That turned it from a failed short at the low to a gotta reverse that trade, because it's no longer falling despite market weakness. This is your trade of the day. Follow your key levels, follow your plan of action. Even if it's not perfect, you know you're going to believe in the trade, and you're going to have an easier time of executing from short to long. Not a great day for Alphabet, but a great day of trading, and that's why it's your trade of the day.
And we mention it all the time. Make sure you are keeping what you traded today on watch for tomorrow. Big move down yesterday for Google, and day number 2 ends up giving you an opportunity as well. That, my friends, is the link to the watch list. Alphabet on there again today. Use that QR code. Make sure you enter your email address like Fahad, the greatest one of all time, at gmail.com. and get that free from us every single day. The watch list. You heard Luca mentioning a big move in bonds there. Here's the 2-year right now. Notable, just broke through 4.5. Kind of breaking out here on a hourly chart for the 2-year. This is a 10-year as well. Same story, big move up, 3.67 on the 10-year. Dollar making a nice little uptick as well, back into this range from the past couple of days on an hourly chart. So yeah, some yield movement to kick things off this afternoon. More importantly, we are super excited. Hold on, I'll get it. There it is. It's fine. Anyways. The return of Danielle Shea back on the show. We're super excited to have her back. Talk about Tesla. We'll talk about earnings season in general. Get her take on how this has kind of played out, what she's looking forward to going into next week. Still a ton of names to come. That's coming up in about 40 minutes or so. She will give you your take on PayPal as well. We'll talk to her about PayPal coming up tonight with earnings. So as Sean was mentioning, she's also a big Tesla fan, and requested, in fact, that we discuss Tesla, guys. And I have a tease as well. There may or may not be a special guest coming through with Miss Danielle Shea, but she said it depended on what the current mood of said special guest is at the time. So we'll talk to Miss Shea coming up here soon.
Oh, so her special guest is Prad? Okay, that's good. So we'll see if Prad's going to come through. But no, it's been great. I'm talking with Danielle here. It's going to be a great time to come through. And yeah, welcome back to the closing show, I guess.
That's what it's called.
It's been crazy. We have some crazy bangers on. Just quickly come over to my screen because we were just talking about Google really quickly here. These are the only trades I've made here since the open, which we got out of the way. We bought the first dip back here into the 200 period at 67, got them out here in the 90s. It fell back, took the bid again at that same level, and just took something out at 09. So we're getting lighter and lighter on this trade right now. Also, Nvidia, look at this, bought these dips here at the 226. 227, 227, holding out for a rip to the upside. And we still have, I'm just reviewing my positions right here. And we still have Amazon short, and actually tweeted this out where we were long and then it broke 100 and we flipped the script and started to go short. So, oh yeah. And the big dog is in the building right now. It's Bed Bath and Be Gone down to the downside right now. So you can see what it's doing. It's barcoding right here at 50. But all these shorts, Luca talked about this. We shorted, I said, it's even in here. Short the pops, right? Sticky Note Nation. Short the pop, short the pop. There's a pop, short it. And there we go, down to the downside. So it's game over right now for Bed Bath & Beyond. Until something changes, Neil, I'm going to keep short on that one. You've got an interesting name up as well that's been failing all day as well.
Yeah, so The fourth time might not be a charm on Disney here. So 113 ends up holding pretty nicely. I had 2 dip buys I liked on Disney. First one was up at 116. That worked. I mean, initially we had a good bounce. Second time did not work. Then we got in again, bounced it for a couple of bucks. Broke down. This should have been a reversal because you got to go from there down to 13. I missed the first 13, got the second, took it again, played to 115, and I don't know if it holds the bottom. We'll see if 113 holds. I mean, I'm not telling you that it's not going to go. It's just how many times can you expect something to bounce off the same level when the market is testing lows? Eventually, yeah, you're probably going to break this thing. So, I'll reload one time in front of 113, then it's probably going to be gone. And then we'll only have Google and Nvidia along. Carvana was a late entry for me, I guess. I don't know if we're doing a rundown or anything. We'll just go over some of the things that we have. I was listening to the midday show, because that's what we do. We're sitting right next to them. And all of a sudden, Lucas said, Carvana, because someone said it in the chat. Well, I didn't short Carvana at any point today, but then it got to this $13 level, bounced off 12, gets to 13. It's exactly when I heard him talking about it. Paid for locates, goes to 13, short the first consolidation, but it's only gone halfway. Like 1250, it's catching a bid. The trend might be coming back into the upside. If it breaks 1250, I think we go to the lows. Otherwise, I'll give it one more shot to reload it. Lucid is one from this morning on the short side. We'll go to the rundown right now, but wow, I'm excited to have Danielle back. It's perfect because one of the strongest names, well, we're going to talk about Tesla. Tesla, one of the only strong names in this market today. Salesforce as well, which I feel like I wish I didn't ignore Salesforce today. Good longs on Salesforce, but I didn't really do anything with it.
Netflix as well, back to the downside a little bit this afternoon. There we go. Here's a note on Disney. We'll just go right to Tesla, guys, but here's the note on Disney. You guys touched on it a bit there. More layoffs announced, or layoffs, I should say, announced. A ton of cost cutting coming through. Better than expected numbers, though, top to bottom, including the theme parks making up really the biggest portion of this earnings report for Disney. But looks pretty good. Ends up being a pretty good fade, though. Right out of the gate this morning. We were talking about Tesla in the sense that it's been quietly a 6% kind of a week, kind of grinding to the upside with no real major headlines to follow. There was this minor note this morning that probe into a 2021 Texas fatal crash comes back, suggesting that there was no fault of the autopilot in this case, but Tesla still, guys, wow, another 5% kind of a day for Tesla.
Tesla's a beast today. So one just came out. Like Nvidia broke 226, so that one's gone.
Did it?
Everyone's like, oh yeah, the longs are wrong. It's the short. Yeah, but if you have a level, you got to support. Nvidia's been one of the only good ones. I mean, Tesla was as well. It's just I didn't have a read on Tesla. And I hate myself for it, but like sometimes you understand that you don't. Like this is the perfect example of me not having a read. I liked one price, well, two. I liked 203, never got it. I liked 210, and then didn't really give it a chance. And look how good it was after. I know Luca was all over it. So I decided that if I didn't have a read on Tesla, I was going to go to Lucid, and we talked about it this morning. Tesla's a beast. Lucid had an 11 hold. I'm like, okay, well, we wick bottom at 11. We'll go for the long. Once it breaks, you're like, why would you not reverse short here? I'm going to kind of try to show you guys why. So 11.11, if I go over here, just a couple of days ago, there's your 11.11. That's why I was going long on that dip in Lucid. But the actual short, if you just go like beneath 11 even, like actually like 98, 99, that's where I was confirmed that I like the short. So it wasn't really, I just gave it an extra 10 cents to break down the level on the daily chart. So yeah, we get out of the longs here, fine, that's where the support was. But until we're selling beneath the level on the daily, that's where I reversed into Lucid. And then it's one of these habits, and we talk about this all the time. You get the flush, and you're always looking to pick bottoms, and you get out too much, and you should be looking for reloads. I thought we'd get back to 11 when the market bounced, and now I never got a chance to get back in. It's got a double bottom at 1050. I have a trailing stop at 1065 this low here, or it breaks 1050, and I'm just kind of holding on to it. I wish I had Tesla long at 210. I'm glad. I mean, Sean had long Tesla. Luca had long Tesla as well. It is the strong stock of the day. There is no question about it. If there's one name you might not want to short today, I'm sure there's a few, but Tesla's probably one of them.
Yeah, it's a great idea like today that we can have Danielle Shea come through and we it took $6 on Tesla long. We just reloaded. I know you got out there when, or I don't know if you were in Nvidia, but it did break. I was giving it to 75. It could break again. We're long back here again right now on Nvidia. So we're going to try to see if that one wants to go back up. But a break of that bottom wick, it almost broke it. That went to 77. So get pretty close to breaking right there. So we're going to watch out for that one, and then get a little bit more at 226. And after that, that's that. But hey, you guys are right, man. Stay with the names that are honestly the strong names. And where's my Tesla chart? There it is right here. So we took advantage of this early today. We talked about it. It's the #1 name on the sticky note again, but there's Tesla right there. Well, it's hard to see, but we let it come back. So here's the open, and hey, look, I told you that we're changed up a little bit here on the style that we're trading. So that's what we did, man. We waited for it to settle down. It comes in, boom, hits right there, rips back up to 209, which was a level that we were looking at, then makes this fade back down right there, right? That's where we took advantage of it. Why? Because we had this bottom wick there of 205.50. So for me, that's where the out was going to be at 205.50 if it came in, right? So we first of all take it out there. That's $1. Then that's up to 207.60. That's another $1.50. Then our final out is right here at 211.69. As we saw it double top at 214. So this is a 206.40 out right there, 211.60. 211.50, whatever that price is. And if you extend it out right now, you can sort of see what we're talking about. It's still at this level right now. So you're just trying to break down a little bit here. I mean, the market is absolutely tanking here. We're $1.15 in the money on Amazon, and our last of Nvidia just came out. This is how you stay positive on Nvidia, is by doing this. Like, this is the only trade I have on it today. It's a positive trade, right? Long at 226. First out, 226.50. Next out, 227, okay? Then we got another out right there when it came back. Then it just came back down. We tried it again, 226 long. Out 77s there, it looks like. So we lose 30 cents or a little bit less than that on the way down, but make that money on the way back up. So it's not a super positive trade or anything that, I'm super pleased with. But at the same time, Nvidia falling down here, and we took advantage of that. So yeah, man, the market definitely dropping right here. Affirm up next, Brendan. I can only assume that one's getting crushed, but I have not looked at it.
Just a disaster of a day for Affirm. I'll show you the chart here in a sec. Just to get everyone back up to date, though, on what happened. It was the forecast that was the biggest issue. Just an absolute mess for Affirm going forward. Remember, Apple's apparently going to get into this space themselves. So this could be in for even more of a rough ride for Affirm. Bounced off, what is that, 1250, I guess, a couple of times today. But yeah, no love back to the upside as we thought this might get a bounce today.
Yeah, I got impatient on the way back up with Affirm, so I'm not happy with it. Yesterday, I want to say that yesterday was probably the cleanest I've ever traded the stock because I was only ever shorting. I had almost every single peak and rollover, and that's exactly how I tried to approach it. I shorted in the pre-market, was willing to stop it out. Then when the market opened, it's like wait for the pop. Pop happened, we shorted the 1450 level, everything was good, made a buck, trailed out the last of it, and did not get the bottom. So when it got to this low and started to break down, this is where I got myself into some trouble. Okay, here, we get in, we get out, okay, that's way too low, it's actually breaking, forget about it, that's a higher low. So we get in and we get out, kind of flat. And then it jumps up a little bit, let me zoom in so you guys can see this a bit better. Then it jumps up and I short the first curl. It's like, what are you doing? I end up adding to it in front of 13, get pretty lucky that it comes down so that I can get out of the ease that I got in flat, but that's not how you want to be doing it. Then I add to it on this curl, but then it doesn't curl back in to give me another exit. I stop out above VWAP, and then what you want to do is allow it to make this move. This entry's not bad, but you got to stop it here. This entry's not bad, but you want to be stopping it out. Probably closer to the 1350, give it some time over under, or just get in here, or like I see what might happen is another push up that takes us into 1350 and then play that curl. So not enough patience on the way back in. That's probably because it was so good yesterday that I had FOMO that it was going to flush at any moment. But it just shows you an idea of how you can get overzealous with a short trade because it's down 18%. And the daily chart, I mean, this is the other side of the equation. When in doubt, zoom out.
Yeah.
You see the 50 period. I said this morning. the 50 period's right there underneath at 1250, that it could catch a bid at some point and 17% short. So you don't want to get caught shorting bottoms when there's something like this. I mean, it essentially went 200 to 50. The fact that it gets a dead cat bounce, or at least a little bit of one, is not terribly surprising. So don't get stubborn. There'll always be an opportunity when, if you like to short a pop, you just have to make sure you're getting into it the right way.
Yeah, when we thought about Affirm, I instantly thought about what we talked about in the morning, because we saw some upgrades and downgrades, and we actually looked at, bless you, we actually looked at DraftKings as well. Yeah, the mute doesn't work. Yeah, it's a fail right there. And we were actually looking at DraftKings. I'll use the 3-minute chart here, and I just put in the chat if anyone remembers what we were talking about. And I said, why not short? And it's just so dumb, because like some of these ideas, I got to just put the orders out when I talk about them, because I didn't put it out. I said, let's short yesterday's top right there of 1780 and give it up to 18 today. Well, I mean, the market opened up at 9:30, and this thing ripped up on a downgrade up to 1785, and then tanked all the way back down in right there. So huge move back here for DraftKings, back down to 1670. So this, to me, was one of those missed opportunities possibly here on DKNG coming back in. So that's a missed opportunity there on DraftKings, and that just reminded me of that Affirm. And the thing about Affirm is, you know, I sort of coined it a long time ago, buy now, pay never. People were mocking that, but now you're seeing that, hey, it is going to be the situation it looks like for them, unfortunately. But look who's up deck tonight. It's PayPal time tonight. So PayPal, if you think Affirm might be bad, PayPal here on a nice run. I mean, I said it was a nice run. You know, we've been up here before. I mean, up to 100 bucks. But this bottom of 65 all the way to 88 right there on PayPal, you know, just attention to this one. You're down now pretty bad. This is about 10% in 3 days, or I mean, top of 88, back down to 878 right now. So more than 10% in like 4 or 5 days here to the downside for PayPal. So I don't know, man. I'm a little nervous about some of these names. PayPal today bleeding to the downside as well. So every tech name is bleeding. We have big tech fades up next. But yeah, for right now, it's PayPal, and it's downside move here, guys.
Come back into the NASDAQ and back into tech in general this morning, as they were all gapping higher. They were all showing a little bit of relative strength. They all open and, yeah, just fade off all day long. So Google lost $100 billion in market cap yesterday on that Bard blunder. Down another 4% today. Where's that going to bounce? We'll talk about Google, I'm sure, here. I wanted to mention this, though, guys. Meta, there was no reaction to this, but down 2.7%, basically day lows. Meta has restored former President Trump's Facebook and Instagram as of about lunchtime today, apparently. So Meta, even though, getting sold off today.
Meta is a frustrating stock because look at the downward trend of Meta. The only good thing about Meta for me today is, like, at least every single time it broke, I got heavy.
You have to.
It's like you have to, but like, dang it, Boomhauer, it's a short. It's
Your
like,
mic.
My mic's on? Okay, there we go. So, but all I was saying is Meta sucks. But not because Meta sucks, but because I sucked on Meta today. Every time it broke a level, all I did is find first support. I liked 183, bounce off 183. It worked, and then when I reloaded it, it lost. And then the next level down, it made a bottom at 181. I went 182 for some reason, the irony being that actually worked out, but the reload lost. Long in front of 181, it eventually broke. The only good thing is right about here at 12, I just stopped. I said, no. Like, why are you... Like, even when the market was bouncing, it wasn't going far enough. The other flip side to this, okay, fine. Like, there's other shorts that were out there today that we may have liked a little bit better. But the truth is, it was just as good of a trend. You got to flip at some point. Like, I flipped on Lucid, but I didn't flip on Meta, and that was a huge mistake. And the 180 was the last line in the sand. So if I get another chance at it, this is a daily chart of Meta. The 15 will show you a little bit better. Look at this gap fill. I don't know how many times I was looking at this chart. Like, there was actually there's like there are trainees on the floor behind us. They have like a little bit of a chat where they go over ideas, and I see it in there. And I actually saw one of them post the exact same thing. Oh my God. They're like, what happens if this breaks on Meta? Well, it broke the 180, and all it's doing is gently sliding down. Every time it went to test back, it's just flushing again. So we got to try to find some shorts to pop in Meta. It was a gap from 150 to 180, and it never broke 200, and it just spent days barcoding. And today was the day that it rolled over. So you want to get these flat bottom breaks when they're there for you.
Yes,
And it's just that kind of a market. You see how easy it is. Like the longs, you're fighting them, and then you're getting out, stopped out, trying to re-enter. The shorts are clean. Shorts are generally clean today.
I like the shorts. Well, I mean, I don't really, but today, shorts, perfectly done, Neil. I mean, we turned this, I just turned it now.
It was Randy's fault.
It was up, what, 1.3, 1.4, then it was just really starting to go.
No, it was a bear. Randy changed it to a bull.
It was.
Just saying.
It was. Yeah, this time it wasn't on you there. But yeah, so you just said something that was pretty key to me anyways, and I think that I've already tweeted it out. And what I'm going to do is I can actually just even show you the tweet right now. I'm trying to put out like also not just our trades, but like reasons for why I'm doing stuff here on Twitter, right? And I just think that right here, this is pretty key. I mean, you know, as a day trader, you need to have the ability to switch your bias intraday on a name, right? So that's just exactly what Neil was saying. We like the 100 level.
Come to Sean's screen.
Yep. We like the 100 level here on Amazon, but we hit it well. We hit it good, man. We made some money early. There's the line there. Then we flipped the script here on the short as it breaks below right now. And I just feel right now like we should have done the same thing there on Nvidia. But there's Amazon. We liked it at 100. I talked about how it was supporting that $100 level yesterday. But today, you could see it broke, and now it's just funneling down to the downside, including where we are right now at the day's low. So I'm going to stay in this short for Amazon. And yeah, we can go over all of these names. I know you only did Meta, but Microsoft, same way, man. You know, again, look at this. This is another banger trade. And I hate to keep saying this kind of stuff, but like, here's our long on Microsoft. There it is working. We tried it again, until eventually we got out when it broke 268.50. Then I was like, nope, flip switch. We're trying out some new things over there. So there it is right there. Now we have 269 short, 269.50 short again on that. And then even when I got this short, I was like, man, Neil, I'm getting out of this way too early. And then it fed all the way down, and that's a 270. That is 270 short. It's 265. My best out is right there when I thought we were going back up, and that's 267.75. So it's still 250 in your pocket. Microsoft is still a good trade for us today. But yeah, downside moves, man. Today, it feels a lot worse than it's going to look at the end of the day unless we keep tanking, because like Microsoft has tanked all day and it's still only down 0.45. The only names that are really like Amazon's down, Google's down, but all the rest are kind of just hovering around. But it's such a dramatic move down that it just feels a hell of a lot worse than potentially it is. So right now we'll continue to watch out for Microsoft. And then honestly, do we have Nvidia next? No, it's BBBY unwind. Okay, look at this. See, Neil?
I had the same.
Yeah, you had the same thing, but it's just like, look at this move down. Break yourself all the way to the downside.
I got to show something on Nvidia. Just quick, we'll go to Bed Bath & Beyond in a second, but this morning, when I was talking about Nvidia, I kind of did this, which I don't always do. I'll say a trend line, but I don't actually usually draw them. So I drew the trend line on Nvidia and was like, okay, so we like Nvidia longs. I was long, and most of the reason I drew the trend line was to remind myself, because it bounced initially off 226. I went 227 long anyways because that was a pre-market high. I mean, okay, well, that was wrong. And then I went long 227.50 and then didn't get out up here, ended up getting out break even. It's like, you have a bad read on the stock. Just reassess. And then that's when I saw it make this higher low. So I was like, oh, okay, it's forming a trend. We'll only buy in front of the trend. Well, that's pretty good. And then I didn't go back to it. I got a little aggressive during lunchtime because it's like, okay, well, it's a scalp above there. It could get going. So I was able to kind of a little bit like make up with aggression what we should have been doing here, for lack of a better term. However, once it broke, look at what happened when it broke the trend line. When we talk about reverses, that's what you're looking for. Like, that's the reversal.
Yeah.
It broke this trend line, and you can forget about it. And okay, fine. I ended up going long 225. That played out. Then the 26 long, which I just broke. But then look what just happened here. Getting out 226, and again, the stop on the long is the beginning of an even better short than anything you had long earlier. Exactly what happened here. So yeah, the longs were all pretty good on Nvidia today. Like, I'm not going to complain about it, but each final out, better short, final out, better short. That's the value of the trend, even the strong stocks. You know, we all do this. It's like, I could tell you, like, okay, fine, we have good shorts that are working, but you got to always figure how can you get better. And you could probably just say that's easy, it's revisionist history.
I found one.
But at the end of the day, you know, that's how you get better, by going back, analyzing. You don't want to just say, oh, I'm up on Nvidia, there's nothing else I could do better. No, you say, well, what could I have done better? Reverse the trade when it breaks the trend. That's what you can always do. So anyways, that's just my rant.
Just before we go back to Brendan quickly, if we can, here, Rob, thanks. Oh, good, there it is. Mary, why are the Chinese sectors up today? I don't know, and I'm going to ask Brendan. He has lots to do.
It's a great question.
Getting ready for Danielle Shea and getting ready for everything like that. I'm not sure why, but again, be a member of our, just subscribe, right, and be a member, and you can get into our chat, and we can see things like that. So this is what happens when I see that. Now, I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I feel like why not just break 108 to the downside? I mean, this name's bounced off here a couple times. Right now, 108. The lowest it's gone is 107.80. I'm almost thinking that if you don't like what I'm about to say, you can wait until this breaks. That's probably a better trade. Like now that I'm talking myself into or out of this, I'm going to take a short on 108 break, but I almost think this is better because if 107.80 breaks, then you can use 108 as your out. So you could take 20 cents worth of risk here. And this is the stuff that we're doing on the show, right? You could take 20 cents worth of risk by hitting the short here at 107.80 and just giving it back to 108. So you could do that. I'm going to take a 108 break and kind of do the same thing. If it breaks 108, maybe give it back to, I mean, 40's not bad right there. So, you know, I think there's about 40 cents worth of risk in this trade. It's bouncing now. If the market bounces, then we won't get filled anyways. So it could be a long. Like if you guys want to go, this is setting up. So whichever way you think, I'm going to go with the trend in the is my friend here in the market and play a short break here of Alibaba. But I also don't mind the long. You just said, yeah, what's up with the Chinese names?
It looks better on the 15-minute.
Does it? I mean, Neo's red. So.
Look at the sucker on the 15-minute. And by the way, now I'm just really angry at myself because I still have an order from the pre-market to short Alibaba at 109.80 something or whatever. Like, there's no point I can cancel it. But look at 110. Ever since this day, 110. That's BS wicks. That doesn't matter. 110, and then today just in front of 110. And if it breaks the channel to the downside, look what happened yesterday when it broke that same channel. Like that was a $5 move. Like that. I mean, you can like the long there, and I guess. Maybe there's a scalp trade, maybe they don't move, but the risk to reward favors shorting that break, I would say. It's just more opportunity for it to give you a huge move.
By the way.
That stock is just dying.
Yeah, let's go to Brennan because this stock is...
It's over.
Getting marked.
I just saw Man U popping up there on volume, just be aware. Quick note on the Chinese group today. There's a ton of individual catalysts in this group, but overall a little bit of economic recovery hopes coming through once again. There was a positive note on China in general. I mentioned this one earlier, XPeng. They're presenting at an auto show today. Remember, Baidu and Alibaba came through earlier in the week with AI-related headlines as well. So yeah, China up about 3% right across the board so far today. This was one, meanwhile, speaking of Bed Bath & Beyond, this was one of about 6 that I saw today. The price targets continue to fall. There was 2 or 3 more at 0 I saw this morning as well. Jeffries, though, hanging on to the hope of $3. I got news for you, Jeffries. It's already gone.
He might be back tomorrow. I mean, I don't know where Bed Bath & Beyond is going, but I do know that's like a glove. We talked about this, you know, all day. And again, I can shout out to Obi and everyone behind us who I just literally said,
where is Obi?
Raj, everybody who's here. You know, I just say, just keep trading the same damn thing every day and don't even worry about it. You sleep easy at night and there's absolutely no problem. So look what I'm in right now. I'm short Amazon, that's $2 in the money. And we're short Bed Bath & Beyond, that's 55 cents in the money. And it's just like, it doesn't actually have to be rocket science. Right?
I like rocket science.
I mean, I don't like rocket science because I'm not that smart, but like for this, it's just like, we just shortened all the pops, baby. We wrote it down on the sticky note. It's now 3 days in a row ever since that offering came through. Remember, the offering there, the Hudson Bay has roughly $400 million shares worth of option there. The stock only has shares outstanding 117 million. So this is continuing to go to the downside right now, continuing to get pumped. We saw big orders get hit here all day. So I don't know, man. The traders are in this name, and I'm still short. But embarrassingly enough, most of them are out right here and right here. Like, you know, we took 20, 30 cents. Like, again, to have that crystal ball. This is an 8-ball, not a crystal ball. You know, very, very tough to predict exactly where we're going. Me and Neil both thought mid-2s. So
I got out.
We're mid-2s.
No, I got out at 260. I got out yesterday's bottom. I didn't give it enough room. And then there hasn't been much of a pop to go short since, so short the pops until it stops working. This is one of those trades where the last time you do it, it's just not going to work, but that's okay. You just do it until it stops because, you know, the trend is pretty clear. They pulled a rug. A lot of people were trapped. Everything Sean said is right. And you might get smaller percentage gains every single day that it does this, and maybe it's going to catch a bid at like $2 or something. But, you know, until it stops working, you just got to go ahead and pull the trigger. They're cheap locates too. So I know some people might be long this and it's not fun, but a downward trend as a trader just means you're shorting the stock.
All right, I think we're done now, actually. Yeah, because that is it. Now, we only have 10 minutes until Ms. Danielle Shea is going to be coming through, so that should be a lot of fun. We will talk to her about Tesla. Let's just go over to Tesla right now and see what Tesla is doing. So we had that bottom at 206, very, very patiently waiting for that. Pretty happy where we got out there at 211 and change. Yep, if we can. So Rob's on the ones and twos. He hasn't been there for a while, so it's actually doing pretty good. Thanks, Rob, for filling in there. Yeah, we have, you know, that's the thing. There's so many different abilities of all these. Like Rob yesterday was doing the green screen, and now today's doing this. So thanks, Rob, for all of that. Talented. No problema llama, the coffee is from Rob. So, all right, there it is right there. There's our out on Tesla. So from the bottom to the top, and we gave up that 14. 13 was also a great level. So yeah, Tesla's been an absolute monster, and if there's been a safe haven in the market right now, it has been this name. So I feel like we still want to go long on Tesla, guys. It's just a matter of when, right, and where. So I still think like this 209, if we continue to dump down, I like that area for a long there on Tesla. So that's something that we'll have to look at. And again, it's just playing support and resistance. Like I said, oh yeah, and Chaz, thank you for the kind words, obviously, there in the chat. What I meant by like, this is not rocket science. He goes, oh, you guys are saying it's not rocket science yet. We're making money every day. This is what I do. I mean, I've been doing this for 21, 22 years. I'm publicly posting all my trades, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera out there, right? So this is kind of what I do. And that's why I leave the rocket science to the scientists. So, and engineers.
Don't sleep on the engineers.
Oh, I'm not trying to sleep on. I'm not.
My dad gets pissed off.
That's the point, right?
He's always like engineers are important. He's right.
Important. I'm not even.
He's right.
First of all, if you're talking about importance, we got to talk about frontline workers and things like that.
There's a hierarchy
before we do that.
Hierarchy.
But anyways, yes, I'm going to leave that kind of science to people smarter than I. Hopefully, trading to me is fun. It's become natural, and I hope that comes through on the show.
So this is a crazy story because one of our friends at his bachelor party, he had some buddies from his MBA, and one of the dudes was actually, like, I don't want to say he was a rocket scientist, but like, you know, like his background in his undergrad was in like real science. He was that kind of dude, and he ended up being a quant, and I'm like, man, it was one of Vic's buddies. And it's like, so, you know, like basically like you got math out the wazoo and you're super smart and you could just be solving all of the world's problems or working for Elon Musk. But, you know, he was a quant doing very well. But that's true. Like, that's why when you hear digital warfare out of Luca's mouth, he means it, because you have like some of the brightest minds that could be doing other things that are attacking these markets with algorithms, which is fine. It does mean that there are things to take care of for us. There was a question about Apple that I just randomly saw, and I didn't catch who said it in the chat. And I haven't even looked at Apple today, but the second I saw it, I was just talking about lines on the chart. Well, 150, I'm not saying we'll get to 150, but if you kind of look at what's been happening for the last few days here, there's some ugly wicks, and I get that. It's a little bit frustrating. But if you see the failed breakout that we had on Friday, and I call it a failed breakout because you took out that 53 and kind of rejected the monster move and then lower high. You've gotten above back to 55, but either way, since then, since that move, you have this 150 bottom, and it's like this line in the sand that if we don't cross that, the market has hope. Well, I'm going to watch out for that one. I mean, today's Thursday, so obviously tomorrow, Friday, and then next week, because this is a big level for the market. Can Apple hold up that 150 level? We've got the big earnings. They've all come through. A lot of names have been beaten up. We've seen Microsoft's getting hit today. Meta could be breaking that channel and filling the gap. Alphabet's getting smacked. Amazon's doing its best. It failed that 100. And now Apple 150 is kind of, that's what's left for us here. So, I mean, Tesla's pretty strong, but yeah, Apple, that's going to be a big one when it comes in. I think that's a good support level. I'll probably take a shot at that. I mean, probably not today because it doesn't get there, but tomorrow can be in play.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens now with
Alibaba?
Sir Baba is in the building right now one more time. So I'm not one more time. This is the first time for me here today. Again, so we sort of have this planned out here. I'm going to put a bid down here at that wick spot that we talked about. That was put the wrong price. That's 83s, so we'll put a bid down here at 83. That was right down there. So we'll see if that can break. So let's just think about now. And again, if you're with me, good. Not good, but let me explain what I'm trying to get to here. And that is that when you sit here and you trade these stocks, what you have to look for is outs if you're wrong. So what I'm going to do right now is, because we're so low here on Alibaba, I'm going to give this one just up to the 50 period. You see on this move down, it hasn't violated the 50 period here. This is a 1 minute chart 50. So you can see here how it has not violated this and keeps on going to the downside, keeps turning down. So once we break that 30, then we're going to get out. But does it have an opportunity to bounce back up here? Yes, it does. It's been bouncing around 108 a couple times. So if this trade's going to work, it's going to take a second. It's not just going to absolutely tank here. There's been some support here at 108. It does break, so people joining us here on this short, let's see if there's enough now left in the tank to get this down. If the futures continue to bounce a little bit right now like they're doing, then we may not have enough juice here to get Alibaba into where we need it to go. So we are looking for just a small 20 cents or whatever this is here, down at 80 if it breaks. So short on O's, short 108, down here into 107.80. Let's take a piece out, see if it can hold that. Looks like it's trying to go down there, so that'll be good. And then we're just gonna average in one more time. I'm just breaking this down for you. Like I said, you're not, I hope you can find other people that are going to do this, but here it is. We're going to average in right here up to $108.20, and then we're going to get out at 30. So we'll try the average in. Hopefully we can get one out. It's going to be for 20% down at 83, and then we'll work on it from there. So for right now, it's Alibaba into the short. Oh, we're still $1.50 in the money on Amazon, but this one's breaking upside too. Same thing, man. You break this 98.60 on Amazon, we'll probably think about getting out. We can almost wait though for 99 because Amazon's been so bad lately on the short side. Yeah, let's just wait for 99. 99 break on. Oh, that's so far away though. I don't want to give up any money like that. All right, I'm going to go 98.60. If Amazon breaks 98.60, we're gone. I mean, it was a great short here at 100. 98.60, we're gone. We don't want to have double losers here for Baba and Amazon. 98.60 gone on Amazon. It's coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm moving my stop on Lucid here, but I want to get to what other name, Intel, for a quick second. So I'm moving my trailing stop on Lucid to 10, like right into the 10.55 here. Just want to make sure that we're capturing the profit on what we have left. But I talked myself out of Intel for what I thought was a good reason initially. The 50 period was holding. I thought above that, it's like 28.40 was the 50 period on the daily. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to short it up top here. That's too tight to that resistance level. This double bottom is when it broke. This is literally the 50 period on the daily chart on Intel. That's where I should have been. I was on Affirm. I was on other things. Not a good reason. And now that it breaks 28, I'm going to look to short off this level break at the end and just work the trend to the downside. It's been weaker than the market for a while and weaker than the chip names. I'm not completely done with the notion that Tesla might be along somewhere this afternoon, or that CRM might be along somewhere this afternoon. Someone pointed that out. Hey, look at CRM. It's holding up pretty nicely. At the time, it looked like it had a chance. If the market had held that 12.5 in the NASDAQ, CRM was setting up for a top break. This is broken VWAP. I feel like you want it long 172.50. I don't want to be chasing anything here. I still feel like these are shorts until we break back above. We break back above this level, that 12.5. Get back above some support, maybe catch a bid or consolidate or something like that, and then we'll go for some bottom pick long. So I don't want to get too crazy getting away from the shorts. And speaking of one of them, might get a chance to get some Carvana here, rolling over this 12.70. So the lower high is at 12.70. I'm going to cancel this. I never got a chance to add to my position. That's the problem with a stock that's SSR. You need an uptick to go short. So when it rolled over here, got the uptick and never was able to add to it. Now it's moving up. So sometimes you take some on the way up, hope to get more on the way down, but you don't always get more as it's coming down when it's short sell restricted. So I'll respect this 1270 to 75 area on CVNA, but I want to get some more shares here. Lucid moved my stop, and just to come back over to I talked about Apple already. I wanted to go back over to Amazon. Look, Meta's very weak. I haven't talked about Meta, but Amazon is getting back to the upside. This 99 level, forget about 100. I don't think we see 100 again today. But the 99 level for a bit of a rollover, just to play the short. If we're not breaking that 12.5 in the NASDAQ, then I want to try to short the pops until that's proven wrong. So that 99 level here on Amazon approaching.
All right, this BOBA is going to be weak sauce, man. I mean, we're down 10 cents, but like honestly, I don't know. The market. I see what you guys are saying in there, and I'm wondering if we have made a bottom a little bit in that market. Unfortunately, we did get out of Amazon as it broke, but hey, man, spin it, man. I mean, this is what we're doing. Every day we're doing this here on the show. We're spinning that money thing because look, you can get out wherever you want and look back and be like, that was a bad out. But I take the out where I take it. It breaks the 50 period. That was what that was. We are now out of Amazon. The one trade that I'm not going to YOLO it or anything like that that's such a stupid term, but what about AMD? We were long early. It's only down 0.9. Well, it's down more than the market now, but yeah, no, now it's going down. I'm gonna cancel that one. I was gonna say let's go long on this if it takes down 84.20, but look at this, pushing back down. Oh, Amazon got me. All right, there goes Alibaba back now, sub 108, so that was good. It almost got to our 108.20, by the way, which it actually did. This was my average in price, but of course, on the wrong gateway. Look, that's unbelievable. Oh my God. I can't wait till we get to Danielle Shea so I can like regroup this. Like we were sitting right there at 108.20. Like it went to 108.19.
What is going on?
Stopped on us right there, or else I'd be getting some out right now on this average blended price. But I see you there, Alibaba. I'm gonna put an order at 108 something. I'm not gonna say where, and see if we can get that fill on the way back up next time. But hopefully for us, there is no next time, and this keeps on getting to the downside, and we're able to get that 80 fill. I don't need it to bump back up, but at least we were somewhat right with our level there, just a couple pennies away from it, that's all.
Yeah, so I see a lot of people talking about GNS in the chat here. It just made one heck of a wick bottom at really it's $5, let's call it, but broke down to 480. Look at that long setup. This is a classic like reversal setup here. This is a 15-minute chart, by the way, like $5 support, wick bottom, and then that's where you want to go long. You don't have to give it to the low of the day. When it does this, you don't have to give it to the low of the day, like where liquidity vacuum is. Like it actually holds 5.10 here, so you can give it to $5 if you get long like 10s to 20s. And this is where you probably don't want to hear what I have to say next. Like $5.80 to $6 just feels like a natural spot for this to slow down. Now, without knowing if there's something that specifically caused that turn, which I don't know right now, I wouldn't necessarily short it up there, but if I was long, I'd be considering taking some profits. That said, the trade I just put on was Carvana to the short side, so I'm going to go and not cover it, but I want to be able to add. If this starts working to the downside, I want a place to be able to add. These lows down at 12.25 need to be respected, so I should have an order down there just in case we get it. I have a favorite number in the 30s. I'm going to bid down there. And if we get another push down, I'll see if I can't add on the way through. I wasn't aggressive enough before, but it's short sell restricted. That's always going to be a little bit of a problem. Google's falling asleep a little bit, and I don't wonder if I might have. You were just talking about Amazon. I'm looking at 99 in Amazon. Yeah, I don't want to jump in here like 98.5. Let's wait for 99. I almost talked myself into getting too hasty there. Tesla is bouncing back above VWAP. To me, this is the one where the market takes out 12.5 and we break a channel to the upside. It's Tesla I want long. I don't just want it anywhere, but if it's above VWAP, I probably just want whatever channel it happens to be breaking when the market tries to go. Because if we do catch a bottom in this market, Tesla is a strong name, and I could see it absolutely running to the upside. That could be a nice one for us. But it has to set up. It absolutely has to set up. You don't want to jump into just anything. But what I do want to do is rectify this issue of not reversing Disney at 13. That was the key support level 4 times. It tested it, it broke. I want to try to short some pops here in Disney. That one's no longer valid. It's either up at 13 or it's short the next consolidation level. So it just showed you 112.40. If it's going to trend down for the rest of the day, then I want to look to join the trend. So makes a top, starts curling, jump into the short. Disney's not even red yet. You know, Disney...
Yet.
Well, yet's the key. Actually, you know what? Maybe it did wick. Oh, no, it missed by 9 cents. So it's basically barely holding that level. And now it probably doesn't have that much more room to go, but there's another solid dollar or two if it does decide to break the low until you get to support from yesterday in the afternoon. I thought it was a pretty solid quarter, but, you know, it doesn't matter what I think. It's what the market thinks.
Doesn't that suck? I wish it was only what we thought.
Wouldn't it be amazing if like everything you thought in the market would just automatically
Then we
work?
just wouldn't have any problems. We'd be like, okay, yeah, this is good for us. Okay, so guys, right now, Alibaba,
for the win.
it didn't go through 90 again. So, yeah, unfortunately, I will just have to be sitting here and waiting for it right now. So if it breaks back down through 90, I do have a bid there for 10%. Ridiculous, and then hopefully we get a little bit lower than that. But if it doesn't break it, we are going to have to watch out for that level right now. I did have an idea to go back long into Google at some point here because you see that we're barcoding, and I'm actually, you know, this 94.40 area isn't horrendous. I mean, we did make money on this. Is what we did early. We went in and out. We got in, out on Google, in and out right there, in and out right there. Just tried the longs again. Tried the long here and actually was very successful on this long before losing our last 20% rate in there. So, yeah, I feel like Google does have a chance to go right now. It's barcoding, and to me, this is setting up to a break higher. So if the market wants to go, this is a name that I like here, Google. Looks like it's trying to go. I'll probably give it to this area right here, 94.60. But as we get set up ready to go for Danielle Shea, as soon as we're ready, we're going to throw an ask in the chat. I'm not sure when we're going to be ready for it, but I know there's people waiting. So 94.50 right now coming through here for Google. So I'm going to try along on that. So, you know, if you do see it pop back in there as we have our guest, then you'll know that that's what I'm thinking right now. So that's what's happening right there. Tesla's still around this 211 marker, so we'll check that out as well. Our best out right here was 211.50. And without any further ado, ask and you shall receive. It's been a while.
It's been a long time.
But Neil, I have to say something. She's gonna come over here hopefully afterwards. But it looks like she's supporting the best team in the AFC. Over to you, Brendan.
Well, yes, we are very, very excited. After, I just checked, actually, it was almost 5 months to the date. Today was the last time that Danielle Shea joined us on the show to talk about the market. We are thrilled to have Danielle Shea back with us, VP of Options over at Simpler Trading. Hey, Danielle, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. How are you?
You have a special guest with you.
I know. Check it out. This is where I've been.
Wow.
And his name is Luke. He wanted to come say hi.
He was in a good mood, as you were saying.
Yeah, he's in a good mood. So I figured, hey, you know, he can sit here, hang out, learn about the market, right?
Amazing. It's great to meet the new addition. We're so happy to have you back. We're so happy to have you back on Twitter as well and back to work. So congratulations to you and yours and your beautiful family. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Let's jump right into things here because I feel like we have a ton to cover. It's been, as I said, I just checked. It was almost 5 months to the date since the last time that we spoke about what's happening in this market. And the crazy thing about that is both the NASDAQ and the ES were basically in the same place we are today. So fast forward 5 months and you can shrug your shoulders and say, hey, nothing happened, right?
You know what? I think it's a little bit crazy because looking at the market over the past couple months, I mean, I have been following along. I haven't really been trading. And you know what? I feel like not trading and just following along with the market really allowed me to see it pretty clearly. And right now, you know, after we've seen not just the NASDAQ and the S&P stay in one spot the entire time, we are continuing to see massive moves in big stocks. So what's crazy is that even though the indexes haven't moved, I'm sure you guys know, we still have big tickers to trade like Tesla, like Nvidia. So I still think it's great trading out there.
A ton of opportunities right across the board. Let's discuss maybe a few of those. Even from this week, we get Disney after the close yesterday comes through with a monster report. The return of Bob Iger already seems to be a positive for this stock in general. Give me your thoughts here. You know, maybe going back to when we got this transition back to Bob Iger and going into this report. How are you looking at it?
Yeah, of course. So if you look at Disney, I mean, the chart, we've had a lot of trouble with this overall chart pattern over the course of the past couple of years. But I actually love Disney here. I like the idea that the old CEO is coming back. I feel like they've had a variety of issues with their brand and with their product over the course of the past couple of years. You know, you had inflation that's an issue. Who wants to pay the high price of tickets at Disneyland, the cost of gas, everything else? But right here now, I love the breakout. I think it looks good to trade it up into 120. And I also like it for a good long-term stock buy too, because I think the Disney stock has a lot of recovering to do. This company is not going anywhere.
From a Disney Plus standpoint as well, not as bad as expected, right? You mentioned the parks. Record highs as far as, you know, traffic, foot traffic, and also ticket pricing. So all things seem positive at this point. And then Bob Iger comes in and does a little bit of reshuffling as far as the individual segments are concerned. Some cost cutting coming through as well. So it looks pretty good for Disney going forward. I wanted to mention, I mean, we can talk about Affirm, but I wanted to mention PayPal specifically because PayPal coming up tonight after the close. We see what happens to Affirm. Obviously not exactly the same companies, but should we, in your mind, be worried about PayPal here?
Oh, definitely. So looking at PayPal and checking out my charts, I mean, what you can see is that, yes, they have beat estimates 11 out of the last 12 quarters. However, over the course of the last 6 quarters, they've traded lower 4 out of 6 times. And, you know, down here, we're trading near the lows. We have some consolidation on the daily chart. You know, you've bounced off of the dead low, the recent low at 66. But you're under a lot of key resistance here up at 80 and 85. So, you know, with the $6 market maker expected move, even if they did happen to bounce higher into after earnings, trading up into 85, that's a great spot to short it. So I don't like PayPal here. I think that Affirm, you know, the whole buy now, pay later thing is not proprietary and those guys are toast. And I think that PayPal's, you know, we got to keep shorting this thing as long as we can get some good entries on it.
The environment has obviously, you know, changed for all of these stocks in the past year, as you know, I'm sure we discussed the last time we spoke. But you know, it's even getting to a point now where, as you said, you know, some of these might just not be around in weeks or months to come.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's shift gears. I want to get your thoughts on Pinterest coming off of earnings, going back just a couple days ago. Obviously, you like this one. Tell us why.
You know what's crazy is when I came back to work last week, I was looking at charts and I hadn't looked at Pinterest in a while. And I was looking at this and I was like, I cannot believe Pinterest is actually looking good right here. So I think it's kind of crazy because Netflix and Pinterest, to me, I mean, I don't think it's going to reclaim the $89 price point. But I do like the way that it's traded off of the lows. You know, it bounced at that $16 price point. Over the course of the last 3 quarters, it's traded higher after earnings. And, you know, you have an 11% move, an 18% move, an 8% move post earnings. And then you have just a nice trend. We're going to see if on this pullback, it can actually hold any of these support zones. So right now, you know, you're kind of breaking through the $25 area of support. There's a 24 and a 22. So if we can bounce on one of those price points and actually hold it, then I would be interested in taking it for a swing buy. But on the flip side, with the way the market's breaking down right now, if it's not going to hold this, you know, 24 and a half area, then you could probably short it down to 22.
And we should probably mention, if anyone's maybe new as far as seeing you on the show and talking a little bit about your style of trading, these are all just for a trade kind of thing. We're not saying, you know, you should invest anything into Pinterest at this point.
We're just talking about a trade here. Definitely not investing in Pinterest. Just, you know, looking for a either shorter term break down to the next level, and then, you know, maybe usually on my time frames, I do about 2 to 3 weeks as far as trading is concerned. I either do overnight or up to about 2 to 3 weeks.
I know the guys want to talk to you a little bit about Tesla, so I'll save that for them. But you mentioned Netflix there, and I want to touch on this simply because of what happened yesterday. We get this news of how they're going to approach, or a little more detail anyway, on how they're going to approach this password sharing problem that they have. 100 million households said to be sharing their password right now. Can we spin this into a positive, however, in the sense that if, say, $7.99 is the average cost they're going to charge to add those customers or add additional customers to your account, those are new customers then, technically, for Netflix. Is that not a positive for this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you would think that, now that they're actually going to put a stop to that, that those customers are going to start paying. I mean, hopefully. To me, it doesn't really make sense that they allowed it to go on for so long. But, I like Netflix here. I think it's a little bit crazy the way that it's already recovered so much of what it lost over the course of the last year and year before that. But when you're looking at just the most recent trend and you're looking at the last 3 quarters right here, I mean, we've had positive earnings moves. You were up 3.5% on earnings, you're up 10% on earnings, and you're up 6.7% on earnings. So I was going to see if I could push this one up into 380 for a trade over the course of the next week or so. Now, if the market's going to flip here, then I would watch it pretty cautiously, just because I do think that, the NASDAQ is pretty extended and I've been dying to short the NASDAQ. So, but as of right now, following the trend on Netflix, I was going to see if I could get 380 out of it and then maybe 400.
What's the last one?
Yo,
Yes,
Miss Danielle,
she's
how
here.
are you? It's been a long time. We're super happy to have you back. Thank you for coming back and joining us one more time. I saw you on CNBC and I started to get FOMO there, and I was like,
We were jealous. That's what it really was.
Well, I'm happy to come back and join you guys, and thanks for letting me show off Luke, because
he's
Thank
the
it just
you.
makes me even it just makes me even happier to get back, because
Oh, good.
having a baby is a lot, right? So if I get to show off my work, it makes me very thrilled.
As it absolutely should. Now, I'm glad you're back, because now this is all hypothetical for a quick second here, but let's just say you were talking about Pinterest, right? So imagine a scenario where someone might be long this stock, right? And for whatever reason, they think it's a good investment. I don't know who that person might be. And you're talking about this channel that it's in here. I have some still from back in the day on the way up. My wife is really into Pinterest, so I bought it during the pandemic because it's like, oh, everyone's using Pinterest, and it was good at that time. Now it's a fail. But like you said, it's got this channel, the 200 periods here. So you have a couple of days from earnings where it's kind of settling down. Now, I recently, I sold covered calls on Intel because I kind of have been thinking it's a short for a while. But what would be, what's your approach here? Would you think that this is a trade where if it breaks that support, it's pretty much dead, it floats down towards the lows? Is it something worth protecting? I know you go really short term on a lot of these. Is it even worth that gamble, or do you just get out of it? Because my first gut is telling me there's been some deal chatter. Why not go for selling some covered calls, which looked a heck of a lot better a few days ago than it does now?
So, I mean, I guess it would just depend on your entry, because if you got it up here all the way, here's the thing, is if you got it all the way back up here at 75, right? Then at this point, it's kind of like, hey, you might as well hold on to it and see if it can come back, because I mean, at this point, it is returning, right? But I don't think that it's a good idea for new shareholders to come in and say, hey, I'm going to buy it right now at 24 and hope it gets back to 89. If you're holding it right now and you say, hey, I bought into it last year, I'm down on it. Hopefully it's going to continue retracing. If we look at a retracement level here, and we can see that so far we haven't even hit a 382 retracement. That's pretty much the weakest bounce point you can get. So if you can say, hey, realistically, stocks normally retrace 50% after a giant fall like that, that would be up to 52. So, if you're holding at 24 to 52 to 40, 40 to 52, that makes sense, right? As far as protecting it to the downside, I would say that if it breaks down below 22, it's probably toast and it's going to head back all the way down to 17. So that's what I would say as far as, managing a current position.
All right. Hi, Danielle.
Hey.
Yeah, I used to do that as well. So like when my wife used to spend $6 or $7 on a latte at Starbucks, I was like, I'm just going to buy the stock. And then hopefully if it goes up, I can like cash out of like $100 winner. And then that would pay for a month of Starbucks, right? So I've been doing that with Enbridge, with my gas bills and things like that. I'm wondering if I should have done the same thing with Tesla, because I mean, like, how much money was there to be made down there at that $100 mark? And I know you weren't trading too much, and we don't have to talk about our books or anything like that, but did you get a sense when we were down there? All I have up is the daily chart, but did you get a sense that this was way overdone? Like, we fell from 200 December 1st, $200, down to the very bottom of January 6th of 102.50 or whatever that bottom was. Like, isn't that unbelievable? And how do you sit there and possibly catch those falling knives like that? Is it just like unwavering faith in the company, or were you able to catch anything at the bottom? How did that feel watching Tesla go all the way like that?
Okay, so checking out Tesla, this was the one stock that, I was literally sitting there watching it and, doing levels, and I didn't really trade it a lot. I did add some more shares of stock just while I was on leave. But the main areas for me for Tesla were these key technical breaks. So if you look at this daily chart here, and if you're looking at the way that it behaved right around October, this is when, everything was happening, all the hoopla with Twitter, everything else. This technical break at the $200 price point was so key and pivotal. And that was really what, ended up giving us this landslide. What I was doing with this thing was I was going over to the weekly charts, and I was drawing fib levels all the way down. And so I was basically just looking for, key lines in the sand. And if you look at this chart right here, you can see basically where it's traded before and where it's had some, common trading points. So, around 150, that was the zone I was watching. And then by the time we got to 100, 100 was really the last zone where I said, okay, if it cannot hold this critical area, this line of support, we're going to 60, because 60 would take you back to the price point that we saw prior to the pandemic. And pretty much everything is going back there. So I was looking at 100, and once we saw those buyers coming in off of 100, I mean, that was the time to go and trade it higher. At this point, now that it's broken up above 200, because that was such a key line in the sand. I mean, just look back at the chart and you see how that 200 price point was just so important. Now that we've broken up above 200, I mean, I think it can trade up to 230, 240. So I like Tesla here. They've got their master plan 3-day coming out soon. Typically Tesla sees those buy the rumor, sell the news type situations, and that's in 3 weeks. So I think we still have some more movement in Tesla to trade.
Yeah, we still got the Cybertruck. We got everything coming through on that. Some robots and stuff like that going to be happening. And then we can get a robot. Not that we want a robot to take care of our kids or anything like that, but a robot nanny gives you some time, to hit up there and start to trade again. But okay, well, it's your Kansas City Chiefs versus Philadelphia Eagles. Do you have any plans this weekend? Is it with family? Anything there? Because I know you're a Chiefs girl.
Oh, of course. I'm definitely going to be watching the Super Bowl. I also really like to eat, and so does Luke, don't you? All the time. So I'm just going to be making food, watching the game with my family. I'm actually from Kansas City, so I'll be having a good day, I hope.
For the record, I will be the one on the show that is actually supporting the Chiefs.
Yeah, sorry about that,
Sean and I are doing a little bit of a friendly bet where I am going to be backing the Chiefs, and we haven't figured out the stakes yet, but Sean decided he liked the Eagles to win, so I'm just going to throw that out there,
like me
not
and
to
Danielle,
leave him hanging.
We used to be friends, man.
That's,
now
you could have said you wanted KC.
Said, I'm on the Eagles, but we'll see what happens. And Danielle, regardless of football, I really want to thank you for coming back. I mean, the chat is loving you as a guest, and as are we. So thank you so much for your continued support of Trader TV Live, and we're really, really happy to have you on. So thank you, Ms. Danielle Shea.
Thanks.
Well, thank you for letting Luke come, because I think he had a great time.
Perfect. Yeah, keep them coming, man. Keep them coming. Have a couple more kids. Bring them on the show. It's going to be a great time. So thank you, Danielle Shea, Simpler Trading. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye. We
Damn
love
it, like when my wife sees
love
that
babies.
now, it's going to be like, we need to have more kids. The same thing happened when Fahad brought his
sure
baby
my wife.
around here, right? It's like, now
already
next thing I
watching.
know, like, it's good thing Danielle Shea's not from Toronto, because if that baby came in here and she let me hold him, I mean, I don't know if she'd get it back.
Oh, Raheem brought his little one as well.
Raheem's baby, oh my God.
Goodness. Oh,
Unbelievable.
Okay, Brendan.
Just quickly, guys, there's a move down in crypto as Danielle Shea was wrapping up there, so I didn't want to interrupt. But both Bitcoin and Ethereum, decent-sized move to the downside. The SEC suing Kraken now in a court in California, so that did cause a bit of a move for both of these.
And as Danielle Shea was on,
Tesla tanks.
like this, Thanos, our positions are gone. Where are our positions?
Yeah,
they didn't even get cut in half. Like
an
Thanos just
interesting
wiped out
coincidence.
everything right now. I'm still short Alibaba. Good, interesting point there about Kraken. Good thing that we'll look at Coinbase in a minute. I just want to go over my Alibaba trade because, we got short at 17, not 20. Because guess what? We might have got filled at 20 anyways. Went to 22. But there's the fill right there. So we took an average price. Then it came back in, and we took some more out right into here on Alibaba. We actually got a 96 fill, which is where we were. So you take that fill, average it up there. Now we're getting out back. So you take a 20 plus an O's. Our average price right now, 11. So 10. So there it is. So the math works out. I took a fill, so there it shows up right now. And there goes Alibaba back to the downside right now. So yeah, man, I like this one coming in. The reason why I'm getting excited here a little bit is I don't have any bids, so I got to throw some bids out here. Let's put something a little bit lower. I really want to see that 80 again. I'm going to put something at 84, also a 95. We're short 11s. All we're really doing right now is trying to stack a little bit. The day is far from over. We're in the power hour now. Still 50 minutes until we wrap this up. But yeah, it's been a nice move here, obviously, to the downside today. Let's try to take advantage of it. And then one thing that did not happen, but we're getting pretty close, man, this Google. I mean, since we left, the market's kind of fell down there when we had Danielle on at the beginning on a nice move down. But now it's starting to get back upside, right? So let's watch out for that with Google here.
It looks like Google is just, it doesn't want to seem to flush anymore. Like everything else, here's Amazon trending down, by the way. Like Amazon's still trending down. I'll like that short. Maybe I will go to the 98.5 level. But while we're talking to Danielle, CVNA did come down in, was able to get some down out there in the high 30s actually. If it comes back, I'm going to look for the next curl. We'll short it again. And I'm with you guys. Here's the crazy thing about this. A lot of people have been saying, okay, Tesla's now short. It's a bull trap. It's a bit of a trap. So it's now broken the trend. Irony being, I got in and out of VWAP. I'm like, well, that's no good. And I actually had a stop set. And I got the short, and then was immediately like, I don't know if I like it. Do I want to be short Tesla? And I probably want to be short Tesla. So I'm going to try to jump back in. Sometimes that happens to you. Like, you get like a gut. You got like, do I really want it? Do I really want it? And then you talk yourself out of the position, which is exactly what I did. But I think I do want it out in front of VWAP here. But I also want to play the 209. Like, I think there's a couple of trades in. If it does trend down, we have room to like 206. The fact that it broke a trend like Nvidia didn't really flush the same way, but now you're getting a lower consolidation. It gives me an out, probably at that 9.5 level, and then we'll see where we go from there. I do want to rinse and repeat Carvana as it's coming up higher, so I'm going to get my order out to make sure I can grab some Carvana and then look to actually enter Tesla at some point. There we go, just got some in the 80s. The other name I like to short the pop on, I just mentioned, was Amazon. But I'm with you on Google, feeling like it doesn't want to go. It's just, look at it.
Go down, you mean?
Yeah, go down, sorry, yeah, go down.
I think it wants to go
Dude,
up.
look at this. The stock wants to go up. It's just that 94 level. Remember, 94 is a big level. The fact that it wants to hold it, let's respect that. It's going to need the market to bounce to follow through, but the 94 long, I wish I actually already had it because I don't want to chase it at 50s. I'm going to go for the long if it goes anywhere near it.
Well, it just went through. We're long. So we're long Google
What's that
right now.
guy?
Hit the sirens. It's at 50. It just broke. So 94.50 right now for Google. We punched along. We're long at 52 now on that name. So let's watch out for that. Oh, what the?
What's that?
Oh, we got it. No. We got some. I was just looking. I was like, well, what are my shares like on Alibaba? I got to edit this. I don't have many left now. We got a nice fill down there. I don't know what happened to Alibaba. We said we put something at 94. We just got that fill as it. So I was like, if Google's going to go, do we really want to be in Alibaba? Now I know they're completely different names and yada yada. Alibaba's actually up today, and Google is getting absolutely destroyed. But okay, here we go. It broke. I hope that wasn't the high right there. We are above some of these levels. I'll average back in a little bit down here. But, you know, in order to get out of this, Tesla might be a better trade because Tesla's actually going to the downside right now off of some key support as well. 209 just broke there on Tesla. So that's... This short here might be better than this stupid Google long that I'm in for some reason. Never like going long, the market's down, and this is 5%, but I did like it. I'm not going to second guess. Well, I am second guessing it, but this is a decision I made, and it's, if you can guess where we're going to get out, I mean, it's going to have to be 94. So unfortunately, that is that dip down there. And the worst part about it is the dip really is 94.90 there. So, or 93.90, sorry. Yikes. All right, let's see what happens here. I did go long there. Wasn't a maximum position, but it's enough that it could hurt. So let's just wait to see here on Google. We were up on it today, but not after this, if this breaks 94. So we're going to have to watch out for that. That key level right there is 94.05. Let's try to get something else. And this is going to be the last average in right here, like right at this bottom 20, right where we sort of held out, broke it once, touched 94, then ripped back up. I'm going to try it right into here, 94.20. One last, as Neil likes to say, salvo attempt here on Google. And then we may have, we may have messed this up. All right, I'm going to put on a third more of what we have now if it comes back into 20. But yeah, going long on Google, I feel like, where's my face? That way. I probably need to stamp that on there for that. So we'll hold out on it. We don't want to talk defeatist attitude, but sometimes you got to stay real. Like, you guys know that I just got carried away there. I don't go long unless we break above the 50 period on the NASDAQ. Like, if you've been here for more than 5 days, you know that that's generally the rule, but this one's going to hurt a little bit. So let's wait to see what happens here. The market's falling down here into the close, it looks like.
So I just got upticked on Carvana, which it's frustrating, but Tesla is now breaking. It gets down to 208 here, so let's see how far it can go. I thought 06 made some sense. I do want to find somewhere to add back in. I was thinking it would be closer to 209. Maybe it's just going to have to be like 08. 60s or 70s. We'll find a way to get more shares on that one. Carvana, when I say I got upticked, like it started curling, it did this, and it's like, oh, I want the short here, but it's short sell restricted, so it's like follow it down, follow it down. There's the uptick when you followed it down 5 or 6 cents. It's like, it never looks as good, but that already happened to me once where I didn't get the fill there. I was able to get a much, much better fill the last time we entered into it. It just kind of sucks, but that's what happens when a stock is SSR. It just makes it trickier to trade. Let's see if we can't get some Amazon as well. This market, it just wants to go down at this point.
Yeah,
so,
damn it.
You know, I don't know. I kind of want to respect that. Amazon's not really in the pocket. It's not moving enough. Tesla's fine. I just got some Carvana. I'm looking for something else that I can work for the short side. Unlimited downside, Steve G just says. Well, I don't think there's unlimited downside, but there's definitely room to the downside. And one of the weaker names today, really?
It's not far from unlimited.
Now Meta's going up?
Oh, is it? Okay, so let's go Google then.
Now Meta wants to bounce?
Go Google. I keep checking
After all
my
this?
watch.
Okay.
No.
You know what? Let's see, 179 on Meta. Okay, if this gets to maybe, let's not wait for 180. Maybe I'll take a shot at 179. Why is this bouncing when the market's about to go 1% to the downside? The shorts, baby. The shorts are here, and let's see what they can do. I didn't think that CRM was a long, but anything that you believed was a long can start breaking trends to the downside, which it probably already has, because I'm probably too late. It didn't really have a clean trend. If anything, the trend was already broken. Yes, this short to VWAP could make some sense, but I already have a trade which is exactly the same setup, and that's short Tesla. No need to add that one.
So I almost sort of took a salvo, as I take your words more and more, on Google. I'm waiting. I just put a 47 bid to take out a quarter of what I had, just in case that's wrong. We'll take a 5-cent hit if it comes back up. We just missed our average in. It went down to 24. We were at 20, but that doesn't really matter. I'm going to take a little piece out here. It's very, very small. I just want to make sure that we're right. We can go longer on this again. There it is. So we just take a piece out. Right? No, we did not. Why didn't we kick that out? Must have canceled. Okay. I do want to take a piece out though here on Google. So let's put it out right now. There it is. Oh, we did get a piece out. Oh God. Okay. I got to buy it back. We'll buy it back right now. So there you go. We bought back. Took out too many pieces right there. Now we're back into Google. So it's still that 50 long, but it did come right back. We didn't get our average in, which to me is a good sign, right? When you don't get that average in down there, maybe it just bounced off of a level that we thought was pretty key. So let's watch out for Google. Bed Bath, Bloodbath and Beyond, I saw someone say. Completely correct on that one. I feel like, my net for sure, and probably Neil's and probably all of ours should have more zeros on it, because we've been talking for days and days and days that we'd want to fade all these pops. We were able to get the shares, and we took them, right? It's just get so nervous about this trade, because it's like as it approaches 3, the thing is like we could have thousands and thousands of shares there, which like in hindsight, yeah, I mean, that would be monstrous. You could find 30, 40, 50 cent moves anywhere, but this is only a $3 name. So that's really the cute part about it all, is that it's just so low valued and the moves are pretty upsized for that. So yeah, great trading today. Short in the pre-market, covered, short again, covered, and we still have a little piece to go. So it's a good trade, but not a great trade here. Oh no, it's a great trade, but I wish we had a lot more, so I'd just be averaging in. So we're going to wait to see. I'm just holding for that last. Reason why we're not getting out now is like we're trying to hold for that last little move down. Yesterday, right about, it started about 230, but you see you had a move down into the close yesterday. So that's what I'm hoping for today. That was a 260 down to 257. So it's another 10 cents. Let's hold out for Bed Bath & Beyond to see if we do get that. We have no risk. I don't even have any stop orders out or anything like that for this name. So let's see if it continues to work. I'm hoping that it does, but right now it's not looking great. It's Bed Bath & Beyond bouncing off 240. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah, there's a lot. For a couple of people are asking me about this FUV, and it's not really moving, but it's not a good looking chart, and I don't know when, if at all, like it gets like something like a D-list or maybe something like that can and will happen. But like you go reverse split so that you can regain compliance, and when you head right back down to like beneath $1 at $1, like that's quite possibly like the worst sign you can see. But for now, it's holding up. So I guess they've bought themselves some time. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not moving. If anything, I mean, does that not look like a flat bottom break to you? If this breaks 190 with like a 210 stop, like that's all I see with that stock. Probably not what people usually want to hear when we bring those things up, but we're kind of here to tell the truth. That's a flat bottom break, but there's no volume on it right now, so not much to see here. Amazon's starting to come up. This could give me an entry into a potential short in Amazon, because I would love to pick up some Amazon to add to my list. Hit enter twice, go back to the 3-minute. Starting to get into this level. I said I wouldn't short originally 98.5 or that half level, but this is where the next consolidation will be. So if it turns around or starts curling, that's where I'd want to pick it up. As far as longs go, it's hard to imagine. I know it just feels to me like Google, still that 94 level might be the one. I know it's going sideways, but if the market does make like a relief rally, this is right in the pocket. And every time we bounce, I look over and say the risk to reward on Google is pretty good. I'm not in it because I'm waiting for 24s. I might start it at 24.25. So I'm just going to get a bid out just in front of 24.25. We'll try adding to it. I do have shorts, so we'll be covered. But at the end of the day, like this, it stopped selling off a while ago, like deep sell-offs, and is now holding support. It's been beaten up 2 days in a row. You got to figure there could be at least a decent relief rally in it. I know I'm biased because I've already said to buy this level, but I'm going to take a shot in the quarter level first. We'll see what happens. Amazon, I don't mind going back into the shorts. And as far as Tesla goes, now that it's broken the trend, I'd rather try to find a place to be able to add to it. Maybe it's worth taking it out at 207. So if it gets back down in the 7.5 range, maybe I'm being greedy here, thinking it's going to 6. But we're looking for reload spots on this. It's late to the move, but look at what Nvidia did when Nvidia finally broke down. This was the trend break, and I was still going longs here instead of working shorts, but it is what it is. It just flushed, and then when it broke trend second time, it absolutely flushed. And that's what happens when a weak market, when something finally gives it up, I just favor the shorts, and Tesla gave it up when it broke its trend. I'm going to work on the shorts here. Oh, why would I just? Oh, Bed Bath & Beyond came back to 250.
Yeah, that's what I was just watching right now.
Oh, I still had that. I still had an offer there. Whatever. Probably I'll. This happens. It happens a lot. Like you have an order. It's like, oh yeah, that's right. I was still trying to short pops in Bed Bath & Beyond. Yeah, I'll just give it to like 53 or something. I got 49 short here. Probably late enough in the day that I didn't really need this position, but. I would have liked it a heck of a lot better if when it broke here, it just snapped back up, picked me up, and then I could be getting out in the 40s. Suddenly, this has now caught a very strong bid, or at least I think it has. So no need to, I'm not going to average into it or anything like that. I got in once. I'll leave it at that. If it comes back down into the 40s, I'll take it out, and I'll give it 4 or 5 pennies. It's a little bit late in the day, and I gave this one up way too early in the 60s. We didn't make that mistake for the last couple of days. But today, I most certainly did not hold on to my Bed Bath & Beyond till the close, which is pretty much how you want to be trading this thing until it stops working. As I said, bit of a bounce here on Tesla at 270, so we went just in front of 9s, took some out halfway to 8, and then we'll go 750. Just a quick ring the register, and then try to play the next move, which I thought might be a bounce. Look at me. I want to go long on Google, so I think the market's going to bounce, and I get out of Tesla short, but I can find my way back in. The next pop, whether it's 8s, whether it's 9s, I don't care. Wherever it curls, I want to add to the position. We'll see what happens with CVNA. Suddenly, that stock is not as weak as it was before. So, before, every time it would pop, like you get immediate move to the downside, pop, turn, immediate move. Now it's kind of going sideways on me here. So maybe it's making a higher low and I should be more aggressive, which is what I'm now doing. First bid is a little bit tighter to my entry point than it was previously. That's just respecting the fact that Carvana is not flushing when I see the market flush, which it was doing before. Always have to respect what's happening in the stock, not what you want to happen. You can have a target at 12 bucks, but that doesn't mean the stock has to get there or get there rapidly.
True. Yep. Exactly. All right. Just so you guys were wondering about what was going on here, like
Tesla.
678 likes, like 5,500 people watching. I mean, if you don't, we had Danielle Shea on. I thought
the baby's worth at least 27,000 likes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, each of you 5 times.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I would have liked to see that a little bit higher. So I don't know what everyone's thinking there, but yeah, for Danielle Shea, let's get a little bit more likes on that one. 799. I mean, if you guys can vote, numerous times in the poll, why not just hit like? There it is, up to 1,000. So that's good. Remember, if you want Neil's Friday wrap tomorrow, it's got to be 2,000 likes. So hit the like button now.
2,000 watts.
Yeah, 2,000 watts and EAs on that one. So we, get ready for that tomorrow when we ask for more likes to get to 2K. So thanks for that. Yeah, people are losing money. I get. Yeah, okay, all right. So if you guys are losing money, I do apologize for that. But whether or not you make money or lose money, I mean, the show is here. I think we've given some decent trade ideas for sure on this. And if anything, I mean, you just reloaded Bed Bath & Beyond right there.
Well, here's the thing. I get it. It's not always as fun when the market is down. We get it, but we're here to trade and we're here to show you what's happening in the markets. We don't get to script it at all. We just get to come here, talk about what's happening, take some trades, give you a thought process, and hope we can all try to benefit from it. And we do it every single day for free, right? And it's a lot more fun when the market's going up. But there's money to be made when the market goes down as well. And that's just something we all have to sort of get along with. We'll show you the winners and the losers, but just pay it forward is all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean, Dan Emmons, you have a good point there. The problem is on days like today, people keep averaging into losing positions, right? So, or positions that they're long and they just keep averaging in when the market goes down like this. So, yeah, no, I mean, I get it. Look, I mean, I'm a trader, right? I've done that as well. And that's the one thing that I've really, really fixed about all of my trading is exactly that, Dan, and that is to avoid the averaging in over and over again. So, like right there, we're in on Google at 98. Goes up 98.50, 98, whatever, get out when it breaks 98. So then I'm not part of this. Then we tried it again here at 95, breaks 95, we're gone. This is a 30-cent hit again, right? So even though we're in Google now, it looks like we might take another 50-cent hit, but, it hasn't been great. But then we found a spot here, right where we are again. This is why we're long here. It worked one time until it didn't, but we made some money there, and now it looks bad. It doesn't look bad, but it looks small there because we're not moving right now and just hovering around. I do have a bid to pick up some more down here, I thought. 30s. Okay, so we're almost at 30s right now to pick up a little bit more. But, yeah, that makes sense, so good call on that. All right, Alibaba. Again, this is a short that we've had. We shorted at 108.20. That first short right now has basically been covered down here, so that's why it's showing us right now.
Oh, my God.
10 cents in the money, short at 108.17. I don't have it. I have some more covers, but not until this peak down here, reverse peak down there, that death candle down there to 107.80. So that's where I'm sitting right now on Alibaba to get another piece out. So I'm going to wait on that one. And then my Bed Bath & Beyond is what it is. A name that I think you can go long, man, Nvidia, if you really wanted to. That's now flat on the day. But again, look at this bleed down. Yesterday we liked 222. You're at 222. So maybe this is a little bit of a long down here on Nvidia. Oh, you have Nvidia up right now. I just looked at it because it used to be strong.
But every time I look at it, it's like every final out. It's like you stop going long there, it's a short. You stop going long there, it's a short. It breaks final support at 225. It's a short. there, short there, short there. Well, maybe, no, not here, not here, there. Because you don't, when it's trending to the upside, you don't want to, that's the short that burns people all the time. I've done that before myself. Like, it's trending to the upside. Oh, 230 is a level, it's a top, just short that for no reason. It's still a strong stock. It's when it breaks that it is a short. And then, I'm the same person that got out of Tesla just now, too. Like, it breaks trend. I'm like, oh, I'm happy with that. It's going to bounce off the lows. Give me a break. It's already at the lows. That was like 5 minutes ago. And I just keep trailing this Lucid as well, because Lucid's having a really, really rough day. But I just never added to it, and now I think it's going to $10. So my trail's now at 40s, and I'm just going to bid 10s because it feels like that's where it's headed. I finally got a fill in Carvana, which is slowing down its decline. Obviously, you can sort of see that here. But this is the one I'm kind of trying to short the pops in. Again, it's having a bad day, but it feels like maybe it's caught a bit of a bid down here, 12.25, down 11% or 12% already. Sometimes when it goes down this far, like it can't fall any more rapidly because the short sell restricted and all the big players have already dumped for the day. So it can go down with the market, but it's unlikely to flood as much as it was before. Bed Bath & Beyond, I mean, give me a break. Like I was saying, do I really even want this? Every pop is just free money on the stock.
It's so stupid.
Every pop on this stock is like a license to print money. And what am I not doing here? Like, what am I not doing here and here? It's ridiculous. And then this is sort of the thing. Like, this is what the trend is. This is what you want to be doing. Like, look at what's going on overall on the higher time frame here. Flat bottom break on the futures. Hello? Longs? What? Probably not. Like, look at the gap fill we have here. That's the NASDAQ. I mean, you think the ES is going to look any different? A little bit better. A little bit, but not too much. It's breaking its last support, 4,100. You got some room underneath. It's not nearly as bad on the ES as it is on the NASDAQ. So you see some of these tech names getting absolutely destroyed. You wonder why. Just have a look at the chart, see what it's telling you. 12,000. I still have a 12,000 line. I can probably get rid of that because that hasn't been significant since here. So I'm just going to get rid of line. I tend to leave them in there when they still hold true, but all of a sudden when it's not significant anymore and it tells me that, I'll just cancel it. So no need for that one. Need to get some more Tesla shorts because you got to be kidding me. There has to be a bounce in here somewhere that I can. It's still going down. It's at 206. Unbelievable. You see what happens when a strong stock breaks the trend and reverses? You guys were all over this one. And yeah, Intel, Adrian Cruz, this is another one. I think, so this is actually, I'm pretty sure this might be the only day in the last 6 months that I haven't taken a single fill on Intel. And look, and Intel just only went down today. So, sometimes you overthink things. I overthought this one today because I was like 50 period moving average. Now that was good. Now it's just back to the downside. I do think this one is rolling over. Yeah, you know what? I'm glad I sold those covered calls, but my re-entry is getting very close because 25 is that line in the sand for this stock. Amazon through 98. Are you kidding me? We got to start thinking about bottom breaks here. Holding on to shorts is not good enough.
No.
I want to see Meta breaking. Come on, Meta. If Meta would just accelerate through any one of these, yeah, look at it. It's just kind of holding these lows. If Meta starts accelerating, it's got a gap to fill as well. We have the early look on the imbalances.
Oh, yeah,
any guesses? 918 million to sell is the early look on the imbalances. I, for one, am shocked.
Yeah, exactly. Let's go over to HPCO. I want to say thank you again for the super chat right now. Thanks, Willis Addison, for that super chat right now for $2. HPCO is ripping. So let's have a quick look at that right now as Alibaba is going to the downside. So that's a good one. We're now 30 cents. There it is. We get that fill on Alibaba. But look at HPCO. Yes, I'm not sure what's up with this company, but look, it's taking out right now the day's high. On this name, I believe it would be day's high anyways, right there at 420, a nice little name there. Moving, again, we took down that 350, which was great. So now you're taking out 420. Next stop on this one, 5, I guess. Looks like a relatively recent name up here to 8. So watch out for HPCO starting to go now. Thank you so much for the super on that one. I don't know, like I said, I don't know that much about it. So tough stock for me to talk about, but that is
Daryl just mentioned Shopify.
Oh, yeah, okay, Shopify. Okay, we'll look at Shopify in a minute. Probably getting killed. We talked about Shopify earlier today.
It is now.
As a good opportunity to short that, probably same as DraftKings. So, look, I mean, this is why you put out bids. Like, that's an 84 bid, right, or 85 bid right there. We were talking about it all day that we had that bid out there. It coincides exactly with oops, I zoomed out too much, right there. So this is why we put it, and we put it a little bit higher. As you know, we've been doing that lately because we feel like, we're just missing out on some of these fills. So there it is right there, a nice little take for me on that, and that was Alibaba with a nice little move down. We are short right now at 108.17 right now. We averaged this in, now bring it back down. So hey, that's a winner on a stock that is failing right now, Alibaba back down to the downside. And then the other trade was, oh, Neil, I finally listened a little bit there. There it is, and here we go. Let's put some more out right now on this name, and that is Bed Bath & Beyond, because we do, as we say here on the show, not all the time, we sometimes forget, but this time we did not. Let's get some 43s out and some 44s, as there's the reloaded short in Bed Bath & Beyond. It's a little bit light. Yesterday, I think we were about 130, 140 shares. Now today are 98 million. So a little light on the share size there for Alibaba, but still, Bed Bath & Beyond, but still a nice move down. We did not capture any yet, so I'm still bidding that. All these prints in here are D-prints, man. So I could figure out, we do have access to all these dark pools, but I don't even have them set up.
There's a lot of different.
I don't even have them set up on our my keyboard. What you could do is set up like super keys, which will hit everything. So there we go. We just got filled anyways. But there it is right there. We got to fill that 43. So let's wait to see where we go. We just got that 43 fill.
If you come to my chart first, come to my screen for a second. What Sean's talking about, like a day trader, these are my hotkeys for the NASDAQ. So like there's a super midpoint that can scan a bunch, and I've got all kinds of midpoints in there. Some I use, some I don't. The main keys I kind of keep up here, like my BATS, my NASDAQ and ARCA. It's a little bit crazy, I get it, but when you're trading, if you want those fills, sometimes that's where they are, and if you have the ability to get them, you go ahead and get them. It was I want to thank you for the super chat here, Dan Smith. Can you tell us about the trading floor history? Is it Sean and Neil's? So this trading floor, this is just one of the trading floors for Day Trade the World. So it's the head office trading floor. Sean and I used to own our own trading floor with the company. Then we merged our floor with the head office floor to come here and manage the floor. So some of our traders still stick around from back in the day, but we don't actually own the floor anymore. The market is continuing to flush, and we got to cover what's going on here. I like that Shopify, by the way. So I wanted to get over to it because I'm trying to get this pop. It broke 50. You got a huge level that it's trying to bounce off here, 49.35, last 3 days in a row. So if the market flushes at the end of the day, I'd like to see if I can't get short going into a potential break on Shop. The trend is there. The previous low was 49.60. That's where I want to start on this bounce.
All right, so look, I know you guys are saying I'm not me, but people are making money, losing money, whatever. Look at this, Google right back up to the upside. So we're gonna go flush down today, but Google trying to get back now. We're long at 45, it's at 55. We still want a lot more than that. Our first break, of course, was at 50. Then we got a piece out there when it came back down, and we averaged in at 31s. We were waiting for even lower than that. Again, it doesn't fill our 20 back to the upside. So there goes, let's go Google. And by the way, we are almost now out of Alibaba. We're lucky enough to get another fill there. Look at that, an 80 fill on Alibaba. So for that one, we're gonna hit awesome on that, and we're gonna hit that, and we're gonna hit this, because it's been pretty good today. Alibaba, we just hit it just now for the very first time, and it's been a good short. So we looked at that coming back in. There's Alibaba. So remember when I was talking about rocket science versus trading? Well, this is the difference, right? I mean, I just look at a chart, think something, it works good, sometimes doesn't, as you guys know, but it's kind of having that feeling, right? I mean, and why would we short Alibaba but long Google, right? So here comes Google back up to the upside. Let's just make sure that this all works today. I'm gonna hold out for a higher bid here on Google. I know Brendan came with a 900 million, like you said there, on the sell, but right now you're starting to go back up to the upside. So for me, let's get out where we did before, 94.80, and then see about 95. So Google, got my goggles on here for Google. Let's see how high this name wants to continue to go. I'm here for it. I like it. Come on, Google. Let's go.
Yeah, you got to pay yourself out, but the trend is continuing. We're running out of time here because we have imbalances in 10. We have to be out of position by the end of the day. Just for anyone tuning in for the first time, A, hit the like and subscribe if you're enjoying the show, but B, Sean and I, prop floor, day trading. That means by 4 o'clock, we have no more positions on. I just took another leg out on Carvana. Like, you might say, why not just hold it all till the end of the day? Because it could bounce at any point. I'm like, I don't actually have any idea where it's going to bounce. Like, you can try to make a good decision. I'm going to cancel this bid down. Oh, my goodness. You see that? I was just trying to cancel that bid because I realized that bid was for more shares than I had left. I was about to hit escape, and that flush just happened in real time. I ended up in an accidental long. I punched out of it instantly because I damn sure don't want to be long Carvana right now in a flushing market. But that was crazy. Like, it was consolidating down there. I'm like, oh, I just took a fill where I wasn't expecting to. This is suddenly more shares than I have. If I get that fill, I'm going long, in and out. I'll look to rinse and repeat by waiting for the next pop-up and consolidation and joining short again. Sometimes you get it this way, other times because it's short sell restricted, I have to chase it down, but the trend is your friend. I just got into Shopify. I have not really added to this position at all. We have time for this to go. It just broke its support there, and I want to thank Daryl, one of our longtime viewers here. Not trading CCL today, Daryl, or maybe you are, I have no idea. Let me know. It broke that 49.50 area. I'm just looking for the retrace back into that previous low, so I grabbed some here just in front of 60. I want to get out in front of the low of the day and then see if it trends into the bottom. Just like you said, in Bed Bath & Beyond, I don't know if it makes a fresh low from here, but I'm going to make a guess that it doesn't break this 240 and that the move into 250 is only giving you to 240. So I'm going to get more bids out on here. And if it gets to 350, I won't offer the 250s again, but every pop has been good, so I'll kind of do it until it stops working, which it hasn't yet. And for everybody that said to short Tesla, you were dead right. This must be a bad wick, obviously. And if Tesla printed to 200, the chat would have gone absolutely insane. So I'm going to assume it obviously bottomed out at 205 just now and is trying to make another curl. Well, what do I want to do with that curl? Let's see. What do I want to do with that curl? I want to try to go short on that curl. So we'll see. If I lose at the end of the day here, I'd rather lose short than losing long. I'll go with that one. It doesn't mean it has to work. As a matter of fact, that could be a wick bottom. There's a decent chance, like, you could have just made a hard bottom there. But I do like this to that 207 area. So I'll give Tesla some room, see where it goes. Thank you again for the super chat. Sean Zhongfeng, thank you. It's been a great day for you. You always enjoy watching us. We enjoy the great community that we have here, even though sometimes you put on a trade and immediately goes against you. That's just, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, it's true.
No, I'm only laughing because it's true.
Like, I'm willing to bet now that accidental long in Carvana would have been absolutely fine. Like, I'll look back on that and it would have been an instant winner or something like that. But you got to treat it the right way, which is I didn't want that long. I got out of it. This breaks 207. I'll probably have to get out of this Tesla as well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for watching, of course, and hitting that like and that subscribe button means a lot to us here at the end of the day. I just took a little bit more out on Google. It's 340, so today for sure, I don't want to be involved in too many things here, so we have to start to empty out some of our positions here if it goes or not. So we've taken a couple fills. Unfortunately, our long that we really were sort of supporting was that 50 long, and it really hasn't worked, but it hasn't been. I mean, all the outs are above where we're long, so it's fine. But, I thought that this would work out better. So as Neil said, not every trade is going to work out. And then I also didn't think that this would work out maybe as good as it did. So Alibaba down here as well. I didn't get enough out on Bed. Okay, well, I just took a 40. I was just going to say, I'm not getting out of Bed Bath & Beyond, so I did put a bid at 45, even though our short was just up there at 47. So again, into the close, we want to hold a little bit more. I do have another, I have a 44 out. I'm going to cancel that. Let's see if it goes a little bit lower. I want to try a couple more fills if we rally into the close. And rally, I mean, we just have to go up 5 or 6 pennies to get me there. And then we're going to get out if we take like 255 or something like that on the outside of this. So, that's a name that we're going to get out of upside on Bed Bath & Beyond if we break that 255. And what Neil and I keep talking about are the imbalances. So the market on close imbalances, these are all from the AM you could see here, besides either some Testa symbols or whatever these are. This is a warrant down here that was halted on the ARCA exchange, NYSE ARCA. So, yeah, we're going to have to wait to see until. See, Google was a sell this morning. Like, look, sell this morning, 250. What else was on here as a sell? Veru's there. Neo Palantir's a buy. I mean, that's probably getting killed today, too. Downside. So, what's left over, we'll see if it can go through with it back into the close. So that's what that is right now, the imbalance locator. We are waiting for it. Did I just get? Yes, I did. All right, so now, just as a quick little briefing here. I have one more fill coming at 50. Then I'll have a fine position. I'm gonna figure it out because my trades are just all over the place. And then we're gonna get out. I'm just double checking my stops. Yeah, I gotta even fix the stop now because it does not for the right amount of shares. So I'm gonna use this tick, 55. If it breaks above 55, we gone, and we'll deal with it after that. So that's my play here, Neil, on Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know what you're doing, but it just did tick up to 50 again, which I think that's where you said your stop is. I'm going to give it just a couple more pennies.
No, mine's at 53.
Okay, same thing. So yeah, so we're going to give it a couple more pennies above 50 here. So I just got to adjust my stop order, make sure I don't get overfilled here.
Well, my stop did hit, so I'll stop to fail on the re-entry of Tesla. But the real fail on Tesla was not being more aggressive on the 9 short or finding way into this short here. Like now that it's made the bounce, don't want to fight it too much. I was jokingly saying that Carvana was going to bounce after I got the accidental long. Oh, not really. No, it actually just continued to flush. So the out was, probably a decent one at the low of the day, but it continues to go to the downside. This is why I always say, if you don't want to be into a position, just get out of it. It never meant, don't try to make it work. Just get the heck out. You didn't want to get in the first place. What happened?
No, Google is absolutely a money tree right now. Back up to the upside. Nice trade there. We just got some 75 outs right now, 73, 74. All right, Brendan has some news. What's up, bud?
This Michael Burry stock just popped up here, guys. Trying to break out on a daily chart. It looks like through 1250 would be the actual breakout, but huge volume coming into this. Geo going into the close.
I know this one.
That's the one that he went into there.
Yeah, he sold everything.
He said, I'm out of everything and into Geo there. Yeah. So nice little pop. But guys, honestly, let's go bang for that, man. You guys were talking about, before we were talking about, loving our jobs and being in this and taking risk and things like that. Well, there's Google, man. And I'm just happy because I read things on the chat like, we're getting killed today and things like that. And I want to thank the super chats. You guys are making money. There's lots of you out there. But there's a good trade that at least we've sponsored up there for that. And then Alibaba as well. I'm almost, like I said, I have now 15% left of Alibaba, and I'm adjusting the stop order as we go. We are lucky enough to get that on the bottom there. So good trade there for Alibaba's. Let's see if it breaks up higher now. But that's a good one, man. And look at Google go. I'm going to take another piece out right now. All I'm doing is getting these out piece by piece, and the reason why is because of those imbalances are coming. So there's a 72 out. We have some more up the high side. I'm going to get another 72. Well, now I punched it out. And a 73. So let's go. If the market reverses, fine. But right now, this is what I'm looking at. It's Alibaba short, it's Google long, and it's Bed Bath & Beyond. We just got the final countdown, Phil, right there at 250. So let's see if that goes down. But again, thanks for all the support there on the chat, man. It's been a good one here today. As you guys can see, I hope you can see anyways, all the trades. We both post things on internet, on internet. So find us on Twitter and on Instagram.
What is the internet?
It is the internet, I think, but you can find us on internet.
On internet.
Well. Just Google internet and it should come up. So shout out to Al Gore, who of course created the internet, because without Al Gore, we would not have the internet.
We wouldn't have a lot of things without Al Gore.
I don't know if that's true or not.
No, it's absolutely not true. It's absolutely not true. Not to get into politics.
Oh,
but
no, that's not.
It's like one of the
jokes.
It's one of the best jokes out there. It's a fun one.
I don't know if it's a good one.
Even us Canadians know that joke. That being said, so this just you brought up Geo, so for what it's worth, that prison REIT, or that's what I think it is, anyways. Interesting double top here. Look at it ride the 50 period. Michael Burry might be onto something with this one. With the long in this. Riding the 50 and about to break out once again. The next time this stock gets down to the 50 period moving average, maybe it's worth the look. Just going to throw that out there. When it breaks 1250, I should always say, if it breaks 1250. Then it could have a little something as well. So not a bad look there. I always like when we get alerted to things like this. Plenty of opportunities in the market, and you want to make sure you're taking advantage of them. Oh, see, in the new version, I don't have to hit enter twice.
I cannot wait to get that new version.
I know. I had to get out of it. There was a couple of bugs. We were beta testing a new version for Day Trade the World, and some things were like, ooh, look at that great improvement, but there was a couple of issues, so we had to roll back.
I mean, literally, cancel orders got stuck, and we couldn't figure out why. Every once in a while. But hey, that's what Q&A is all about.
It is. There was actually a moment on the show where I was like, why did I get this fill? And I'm like, okay, well that sucked. And then I realized, it's because one of the issues was an issue with the way you cancel. There's multiple ways to cancel orders, and one of the 10 didn't work. But when you're used to it, it's just muscle memory, and I didn't realize until it was too late, and I just got a fill I didn't want, I had to punch out. So this Shopify, it's in the channel here. I still want it to break down to the lows, but it's $349, which means Stop basically right here, a couple of cents higher, because if we get an imbalance that reverses from a sell to a buy, stock like this can be back to VWAP like that, and I don't want to give it all the way back to VWAP. Like, I wanted to make a bet on things flushing at the end of the day when you're down 1% and trending, but things change rapidly at 350, and I always want to have a trailing stop in there. Lucid, I guess will... Yeah, I mean, it's kind of making a bottom here. I'll tighten the stop once again. This is one of those, you're just still holding on to it because it's flushing like an absolute rock. I can't believe I started long this thing at $11 and it's like $10.20. Lucid is having a really, really bad day, and it's bad. It's bad, but it's just, I never would have thought it would have been this bad for them on a day. Look, Tesla is kind of beating everybody, and what's good for them in this environment, you get into a price war with Tesla, you're in some trouble. I guess that's why it's so bad today.
All right, Alibaba, we're still waiting for this. So, Neil, now we only have 15 seconds to go. So let's call up the imbalance locator right now and see. I actually got to get rid of this so we don't see ARCAs here. So we only have a couple seconds now, and we will reload this in 5, 4, 3. I got a little fast there. 2 and 1. It's now 3:50 here in Toronto. So let's, whoa,
that just stopped me out quick.
That's okay. Apple bid. Let's go. Let's go, Google. Google right now. Look at Apple starting to go up to the upside right now. I have no idea what Google's doing other than it's ripping. There's Google right now. Nice. Yes, sir. Wow, we're spending that money right now. No choice. Contractual obligation. We've talked about that over and over again. There goes Google right now. Nice upside move. So we blasting, baby. There it goes. We just took an out right there at, no, we didn't. We missed the 90s. Let's get out some more Google here then. 80s. We'll take an 80 fill on that. Google upside, Apple upside. There's the fill at 82. So we get a piece out there on Google. Now let's wait for a 90, then hold for the dream. What just happened to Bed Bath & Beyond? Almost stopped out of this one too.
I did. Well, my stop was at 50.
Yours at 53. Mine's 53. At 55. So we'll get this a couple more seconds. No outs on the reload. So yeah, we'll take an L on the last bid here. But wow, Google really put us into the oblivion here. Beautiful out there for Google. There we go. Give us the 90.
So flip from sell to a buy, from a 900 million sell to a 750 million buy. That's what can happen. That's why we throw stops in there. I'll show you what happened to me on Shopify because I was sitting in the short. We had to stop it. Don't give it all the way back to 50. You know something's happening at 350. Either it goes for you and flushes, it goes against you. Have your stop out, limit the loss. But it's really, it's kind of like a lot of small ones. Apple is there, but Lyft is $1 million to sell going into, they report tomorrow morning, no?
Yes.
Yes. I meant no as in, you know.
No, I know. That's what I say. Yes. Yes, you're right. They do report.
Okay. We get PayPal. We get Lyft tomorrow morning. Lyft with $1 million to sell going into their report, and it's at the low of the days. Interesting that it's catching a bid off this 16 level on a massive sell imbalance. There might be a fade. If this sticks around at 355 and it's bounced along with the market, there might be a little bit of a fade play here on Lyft, but not a guarantee. We'll see what happens at 355.
All right. Yeah, thanks, Daryl. Thanks, everybody in the chat, man, for just continuing to support us and give us different trade ideas and everything like that. But, yeah, that was good, man. That Google trade was a good one there. There goes Bed Bath & Beyond again, upside, just taking that out. So boom, tempting. Just goes back up. We could reshort it. I'm just going to wait for tomorrow,
tempting, man.
We are now 70 cents in the money right now on Google as that's blowing up to the upside. Woo-saw woo. I mean, we've really... That was a good trade, man. And hopefully, you know, heading into tomorrow, we could see that flush tomorrow for sure. Would not surprise me if we did get a move down tomorrow. I mean, the NASDAQ did not hold anything today. We are now below that 12,500 that we talked about here on the NQs. So just sort of like Danielle said with Tesla above 200 there, you know, this just broke the other way. So whether or not this is going to be an ugly little tail there, we'll see. But, you know, we're below 12.5. So tomorrow, if you guess the sticky note will have a bunch of shorts on it, you're going to be right, unless we come in and everything is much, much different. But below this 12.5 to me is a short. So there it is, man. We thought we could retrace back to that level, and it looks like we did do that. I didn't do anything about it. I did sell some Nvidia today, but again, I'm just a little bit nervous about. I'm just talking about in my own account, and again, it's just I don't know. It was I think I have to find out where it was, but I think it was around here 223 or so. So missed the upside there in Nvidia as it continues to make a march back up, but still, I'm a little bit nervous about this name heading into earnings, which. When are Nvidia earnings? I just know we haven't had them
Next
yet.
week, I think.
NVDA. Let me find out exactly when. Oh wow, not for a very long time, man. Feb 22nd.
Oh goodness, that's
So
like
yeah,
2
so
weeks
that's
from
even
now.
more reason for me to sell. So now I feel better. I did sell 25% of like the swing position sort of on Nvidia that I did have, but yeah, nice move upside there. Who knows? We just topped out at 230. Selling right now at 224, 223 seems like it's a decent decision for me. So that's what I did there. Take off a little bit of risk off Nvidia, and now watch where it goes. I mean, by the way, right now Google is absolutely printing back up to the upside here for Google. So I don't know if you guys want to show this screen or not, but there's Google right back up to the day's high one more time. Thank you, Brad. Right back there, 95.20 for Google, $1 in the pocket now on this name. So too bad we got too many out up here at 80, but wow, there goes Google. Extension long right now. Wow, what a good way to end the day, man. Yeah, I don't know what, oh, I was gonna say I don't know what's for dinner, but I have to pick up some wine, but I do know my wife was making a broccoli cheddar soup. So shout out to her for that one because it's rainy here, it's cold,
is rainy.
It's all that stuff. So I'll hit a fail on not holding more shares there for Google, but that should be good. Cheddar broccoli. We'll go home. I got to pick up the kids. It's a double night. My daughter's at gymnastics, and my man's at karate. And then, as per usual, we'll try to hit up that Peloton and then relax and watch Thursday night football.
There is no Thursday night football.
Damn it!
Yeah, my daughter's actually she's kind of upset because her gymnastics got canceled. They're having a meet or whatever you call those things. It's a
good.
gymnastics meet, but she's not in the competitive right now.
Yeah.
I swear I was about to say ATVI. It must have just flipped. Someone asked about ATVI. I made a move. It was a buy imbalance. Maybe somebody knows something about the deal, but this was also a buy and bounce, up 3.5%. This is still trading at a $20 premium, to be honest, guys. It's kind of crazy. But big move there at the end of the day. I was looking to see, just in case, if on lift there was a little something. Yeah, it kind of spiked. I was looking for a spike a little bit higher to be able to fade into it. It never happened. It kind of went 5 cents there. I would have needed to go 20 to give you something for a trade. Most of the imbalances paired off here, with the exception of like Apple's now a sell of 800,000, and all these. I mean, it's all these, I guess, Brazilian ADR or Brazilian dual listed names that are up at the top. But Apple paired off. Intel's a sell now. So that's why you're getting a bit of a pullback in the market. We've got some earnings to get to. We mentioned one in Lyft. Brendan, what else do we have?
Yeah, that one's on the board. A few others, guys, as far as fintech and travel are concerned, coming up tonight.
PayPal.
That was quick. It's like go over to Brendan. It's like I'm just like, okay, now I get to relax. It's like boom, right back over here. But yeah, I don't know, anything interesting you, Brendan, on that board? We always ask us, but we never really ask Brendan. So let's flip the script a little bit here. People care more about Brendan's opinion than ours, I feel like. So let's go, Brendan. What do you think you're going to be looking at tomorrow?
I can tell you what I'm going to be writing about tomorrow morning. It's going to be PayPal for sure, and Lyft as well. I mean, maybe Expedia, but I don't know. We don't typically get much of a move out of that. But we're getting to that point in this earnings season, guys, where there's limited opportunities.
So you mean to tell me, Brendan, you're
Slimmer
not going to write?
pickings.
You're not going to write about Bloom Energy?
Depends if it goes bloom or not. Bloom.
My house is on fire.
My house is on fire. Bloom. If you guys have not seen that,
I love that clip.
Please go to YouTube and Google that. Oh, you know what
Where's
would make
that
this
kid?
day just
That's what I
better? Like
wanna
if we
know.
could just hear that beat. Like, first of all, like Prad, I mean, he's over there. If he wants to drop it, great. I mean, I have to pay him 9 cents every time. But look at that. We just got out of Google as well at the top. So we're completely flat. You can see Neil and I both with no position. So this would be a good time to hear that beat. But what's up to Learning Fun Perfect? What's up to Damien? What's up to Matt Carnes? What's up to Bob W? What's up to Heron One,
way.
Farm Trader?
Farm Trader's dad worked at Bloom. Now you
Bloom
got to
Farm
talk about
Trader.
it there. We have to talk about that tomorrow.
There
then.
we
Not
go.
bad. Unless you don't want us to.
Shout out to Lone Sophos there. Shout out to everyone, Renata, everybody, man. Thank you so much. I mean, I could just keep going right there. Grand Sing Music, everybody. Prad's beat makes my day, as mine.
It makes
too.
everybody's day.
So we're gonna have to get that, and we're gonna play that for you very, very soon.
Here it comes.
There's only one thing that makes
Wait
me be
for it.
quiet. And my wife. Oh shit.
Drop the beat. Drop it. Oh.
Wow, Prad. That,
And you
that
can't,
hit
but
the
you
spot,
can't
bro.
rap on it because it doesn't
That
actually.
hit the spot. I'm gonna put in chat beat.
There's no
I told
point.
you what we're gonna do, man. I'm gonna
There's
put
no-
that beat into chat. into the AI, and then I'm gonna be like, yo, how can we like just make this the illest beat?
Just don't put it in the
You
Bard.
know? And then I'm gonna put it in, and next thing I know, I'm gonna put like, it's a story about Prad, this and that, and it's gonna kick it out, and it's gonna be amazing. So that was awesome, man. I really, really like that one.
You're the man, Prad.
People are loving it, man. People
They
are
love
loving
it.
the beat.
It is good. It's just,
like, I'm actually.
it needs to go somewhere. It's
You
just,
and
that's
I are
we need,
not mocking
We need
that.
the next.
Like,
Oh, I love it.
We love the beat.
It's
we
a
just
great
needs
intro.
that bass drop. Like if I gave that to my
Exactly.
8-year-old, she'd be like, I.
Where's the drop?
Boom,
Where's the
like
drop?
where is it?
Where's the
Because
drop?
I've taught her all about that bass. So because it's all about that bass. All right, thank you
No
so much.
treble.
No treble. Yeah, you don't want. You got to have a little bit of treble. Thank you so much,
Put
Rip
some
Patel,
treble in it.
right there. Thank you so much for becoming a member. I want to give a big shout out to Austin as well, gifting 5 memberships. What up, Austin? You're a real one as well. Beautiful town, Austin, of course. All right, let's go, man.
Great wrestler, too.
Yeah, Citigroup. Stone Cold Steve Austin as well. But all right, only 30 seconds left. It's the
There
beat.
he is.
It's the Beat Factory. The Beat Factory's here.
That hat may not work
right
today,
now.
though.
What is that, a Gucci shirt? How much are we paying this guy? All right, with only 20 seconds to go
much.
right now, it's Trader TV Prad. He's there. He's got on the fly Jordans. He's got all this stuff.
he's pimped
this
out
guy's
right now.
kicking it
He's
real,
pimped out.
real good over. Yeah, here we go. All right, only 10 seconds left.
Get it on him.
Let's go over to Prad. Here it is right now. There it is, man. It's Beatmaster. DJ Prad is in the building. 3, 2, and 1, and we are now closed. Wow. I mean, even even
just
the
start getting
bobblehead,
ready
look,
for
look,
it,
the
and it
bobblehead,
just-
like,
it
he's
never
feeling it.
happens.
Look at that. Like, he's going back and forth there. I'm just shaking it, but
I was
anyways.
about to say.
All right, sick beat. We really love that. We got to
Bang,
make
bang.
that into like an NFT or something where you sell the beat.
Yes.
You know, it's like we'll put it on an NFT, we'll get that little script going, and then everybody for 9 cents buys it, and Prad gets rich. So I think
Timberland
that-
has nothing on you, Prad. Nothing.
Over to Brendan, how did we finish up? It felt like the worst day in the history of the markets.
It's only 1%.
But now that I look at it, maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought there, Brendo.
Yeah, we start the day up 1%. We end the day down 1%. So the swing in between feels a little bit worse than this looks. 0.9 when all is said and done for both the S&P and the NASDAQ here. 0.9 or thereabouts. 0.8 for the Dow to the downside. Everything back to the downside, though, including crude oil. Yeah, it got pretty ugly there at the end of the equity session. Still seeing some selling coming back into Bitcoin and Ethereum, guys, on that Kraken note. There was a lawsuit, if you missed it, in a California court regarding staking. Apparently, they have agreed to stop staking. Kraken has. So that was a move in crypto.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, we were talking about that because staking gives you most, coins or whatever will give you a couple percent some yield for doing that. So if that's all of a sudden illegal, which I don't understand why that would be illegal, but again, I haven't looked into it, but thanks, Brendan, for that.
Because it's a feature of a security, and if it's not being treated as a security, and if you're going to do that, then it has to be regulated. I'm just saying what they're going to be saying.
Yeah,
That's
Coinbase
what I'm
down
assuming.
15 today.
Coinbase got wrecked today.
Like when Coinbase was up at $100, like as if that wasn't a short. Like, come on, man. Unbelievable right there. But okay, whatever. We'll just move off that because that was a nuts. It was only went to $90, not 100. Check myself on that one.
Close
But
enough.
yeah, Google's starting to rip up a little bit here in the aftermarket, up to 95.40 right now. Remember, our long was 94.50, so that's going to be a good one. And then tomorrow, we're just going to wait. I don't see PayPal or anything
Yeah,
crossing
nothing yet.
So, all right. That's it, man. What a great show. Thank you for the kind words. I see some people there in the chat saying how great that finale was, so thank you for that. Thanks, Prad. Thanks, Luca over there. Lucas, yeah, good luck, Lucas, wherever he is again. Now he's left us now.
Across the pond.
Thanks, Fahad, Mark, everybody like that. It was a good one here. I don't know, something's going to happen here at the close. I don't know if I approve of it or not. I want to give a big thanks to Sharif, Luca as well, Brendan, and the team. All right, are you guys going to be doing something over there?
What's going on?
Uh-oh, here we go.
What's happening here?
Just stay with us for a second. Oh, I get it. He's mixing over there. I get it. There's Prad. Prad's back in the lab. Yeah. Turn his headphones up, man. Turn his headphones up.
Turn them
Just
shits
watch your
up.
head there beside the belt. That was pretty cool. I like that. See, that's the kind
Good
of
job,
shit,
guy. Good
That's
job,
the kind
guys.
of stuff we should be doing with the green
Yeah,
screen.
have
man,
fun
for
with that.
sure.
The beat getting worked
That was a
on.
good idea. Thank you for that one. Thanks, guys. That was fun. All right, let's get out of here, man. Thank you so much. It's Thursday. We got places to go, and it ain't here, but we're back tomorrow. So join us then at 8:30 for Trader TV Live. Neil, Brennan, and Sean will catch you in the AM. Ciao.
Peace.